year. Hello, and welcome to the Stream of Chaos. My name is Art, and I will be your keeper of arcane lore for this session of Call of Cthulhu, the first one for 2024. We're so excited. Welcome back, everyone. So lovely to see you. We are going to be, fingers crossed, finishing off our playthrough of And Some Fell on Stony Ground from the Nameless Horrors. Is that the book again? Yeah, the Nameless Horrors source book, which you can get your own copy of from Chaosium.com. We do this thing every week on Friday at, is it currently 3 p.m. Pacific, I think?
Yeah, it is
it's
3.
10
It is 3 p.m. Pacific.
Risky business.
10 a.m. Melbourne time, 10 a.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time. You work it out.
3
That's what we do it every
in
Friday.
LA, 6 p.m. in New York, 11 p.m. in London, according to my little world clock down here.
And if you, obviously, like if you're watching this on our YouTube channel, which is, I've forgotten what the YouTube channel is. Someone please fill that in for me.
Chaosium.
Chaosium, there you go. You can find us on YouTube for anything that, you know, if you miss this. Otherwise, if you want to catch us live, we're on twitch.tv/Chaosium Inc. there as well. Is there anything else? I forget. It's been a hot sec. It's been like 3 weeks, and I'm not practiced at this anyway.
Might have been a strong 4.
Hell yeah. Oh my god, it's been so long. Anyway, we're here to play a game. I'm gonna throw it to all y'all, because as I said, it's been a couple of weeks. Everything I know about GMing has fallen out of my skull over Christmas. Who wants to just give like a little bit of a recap about what they remember has happened so far?
That's a great idea. We're in like a small town USA sometime in the 1930s. I calculated the exact date and didn't write it down. But
after we were explicitly told not to calculate the exact date.
Well, the town's called Stowell. It's got 4,500 people, give or take. And I believe it's actually the 1920s.
You did, that's right.
I believe it is in fact the 20s, not that it matters.
No, it was 22.
Kind of just,
I remember that.
Vibe in the general.
The spirit of the thing.
More importantly, we're all a bunch of friends. We've known each other for a while, and we've noticed that weird stuff is happening in the town. We're all connected to somebody who's had something a little weird going on, and we've slowly started to investigate into each of those things. The weirdness has been skyrocketing until it boiled over at the climactic end of the last session, where we were walking down the street and somebody has just run out of a store with a severed head and a butcher's knife, which is a great way to start things off.
It was my boss, I believe.
Yeah, I was going to say, not just anyone. Theoretically, the owner of Elmer's Steakhouse, Leonard Elmer, has bolted out with a meat cleaver in one hand, the disembodied head of his maitre d' Felix Tamar.
That's right.
Annabelle, would you still like to lodge a complaint?
Absolutely. The Department of Labor will be hearing about this.
That was a wonderful summary. Thank you all. So yeah, spooky things going on in weird country town. Severed head. Fun times.
There was an angry mob because the bank's calling everybody's mortgage in. James
accidentally got a promotion.
Can't get in touch with his sister.
Yeah. The twins were being a little mean to me, which they kind of it's kids are kids, right? But
they're weird children.
Yeah, they're awful.
I went and visited the children because they'd been absent from school and discovered that your family is weird, bro.
I try to not be like a kids these days kind of guy, but you know.
It's the iPads is what's doing it to them. The iPads.
Honestly, I think it's the dissections. I think it's mostly the dissections. It might be the formaldehyde fumes, but I think it's something to do with the mass dissections that they
really need more guidelines on the App Store.
We were so out of practice, we jumped into the scenario summary without introducing ourselves. Is that a thing to do?
Yeah. Well, in that case, just to throw things completely out of order, Jackson, why don't you introduce yourself?
How dare you? Now it's coming back to me. I'm Jackson, and I'm playing Annabelle Hearn, an activist / ex-waitress as of 2 days ago, who lives with her mother, Margaret. She was just fired by the head waiter at Elmer's Steakhouse. She was not allowed to see Mr. Elmer himself to find out what had happened. And the very next day, Elmer has decapitated Felix in the middle of the street. So,
Which,
Yeah,
was fun.
nice reminder that all of this has happened in the space of less than 24 hours. You
That's
got together last night. You got attacked
Mhm.
by Kenneth McCurdy, who was a shelf packer. You slept
the
overnight.
other
You had a
thing.
day of work. You met up at lunchtime. This has happened.
That was the other
kind
big
of early
thing.
mid-afternoon.
yes.
Yeah, the other big thing with Annabelle was we were attacked by Kenneth McCurdy last night. He was shot dead by the sheriff's deputy, and then I saw him walking to his mother's house today and had a chat
Oh
with him
yeah, that was a big one.
after being shot.
The final sort of thread point that we had, the big clue, was that things seemed to be leading towards a kind of event happening at the church, was the vibe that I was getting, at least. A couple of people were going to be gathering together.
Someone
Why
was
was
handing
who?
out pamphlets saying there was a musical concert going to happen sometime in the next, let's say, day or two.
That was
Vibe,
it.
who was getting? Who are you? I don't know.
Who am
Oh,
I?
yes.
Who about you? Who are you?
Funny
Who
you
are
should
you?
ask.
James, please introduce yourself.
I am playing Wesley Frost. I am a recently promoted senior associate at the local bank. My life is still as vapidly empty as it previously was. In fact, it's probably more so empty somehow because as the walls get higher around me, they just loom bigger, and my little corner of safety gets smaller and smaller and smaller. I've taken as a coping mechanism to bring my high school friend to live with me, I think is the current thing.
That's right.
Which is my excuse to pass across to Dave.
So g'day, I'm Dave and I'm playing Fred Schenk. I'm a local barber and sort of general gossip and man about town. Recently, my new home, the loan has been called in on that, and that sucks. I thought I was pretty friendly with the bank here, but it seems they would like their money back, and that's put me in quite the pickle. As I try and resolve this, I am staying with my good friend Wesley Frost and investigating the things about town. But this most recent event with the man wielding the butcher's cleaver hurtling out has also sent me into an indefinite insanity. So things are going poorly. Yeah, because we rolled it. I was remembering that. Looking back, both I and I believe Jackson are now. Well, Jackson also rolled a D10, so I think that's what that is. Both of us are now in a bout of madness.
Delightful.
Just for fun.
Yes.
Just for fun.
Right. I love that.
And then I guess
I
speaking
forgot
of
about that.
bouts of madness, Alex, I think you're the last one.
Hello. And that was a statement on me, Alex,
Yes, not the
Eloise
character.
Berger, my character, who is a young teacher at the local school, teaching around middle school aged students, which incidentally is the I think that is the class above the one that Jim's niece and nephew, the twins are in, I believe. Slightly older children, so I was kind of horrified by the youths and their behavior. Eloise, out of everybody, is kind of having the best time in her personal life here. No massive weirdness there, except for a radio that's picking up some strange shit and a pastor at church who is saying some things that I do not like. So she's doing okay, but it seems like the kids are not all right, and that's kind of become her primary concern here. The kids are indeed not all right.
Not all right. Amazing. Well, thank you, Jackson, for the reminder to introduce ourselves. And also, we should thank Sirenscape and Roll20 for being great tools that we use to improve our game, which I did not do up the top. So thank you. We really
If you're watching the
like
first
you.
time, I promise we have this down pat.
Yeah,
really good
I'm
at this, guys.
usually
It's
not
definitely
the one
much better
doing
than
the
this.
introductions.
It's the spirit of the
this is-
thing.
Yeah. Also, it's the first one back, and
Yeah,
technically
look.
we're finishing off a one shot. I feel
None
like
of us are
loosey-goose
wearing
is the way
pants.
to go.
It's still the holidays.
No.
Correct. You
I
usually
mean-
wear pants.
Yeah. Being half like satyr, like being goat, it's
Yeah.
a problem. Pants, trying to find pants that fit like a little fluffy tap, real hard.
Yeah, none of you have any idea what our bottom halves are. We're all some kind of weird chimera these
You
days.
never will.
Yeah.
Could be
Yeah.
smoke, could be spider legs. Anyway.
My brain's just gone squid.
Anyway, we're good. We're fine.
Yeah.
We're
So
very normal
this
people.
was all lovely and everything was ticking along. There was a mystery, and then a man with a head, just a head, removed from its body, and a meat cleaver has come screaming out to the street in the middle of the afternoon It seems to be babbling something about, like seeing or not a general fury at the world, although kind of directed at the people that are currently fleeing from him. The four of you are not too far away from where this is going down. I mean, it's literally happened, like half a dozen meters in front of you.
Yeah.
What do you want to do?
Vomit.
Sign me up for a bout of madness.
Yeah, about me.
Yes.
What
So,
about-
for those who are bouting, I don't have the table up, so we can do one of two things. We can either we'll roll and I'll get someone with a better knowledge of how to grab that to find out what it is. Amazing.
Dave's got it.
Or we can do what I was introduced to Call of Cthulhu with, which is you take one of the big three.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I want the dice.
Fight,
Give me the dice.
flee, faint.
Give me the dice.
Always fun. Jackson going dice.
I want dice.
We love to randomize.
I like math rocks.
But yes, for anyone who is thinking about running Call of Cthulhu and is worried about like, oh no, how do I deal? Just take the big three. You either fight, flee, or faint. That's all you need.
Water, fire. I will also do. I will also. You know what? Actually, I'm pretty Can I roll a D3 on the big three?
I mean, if you want to roll, go ahead and roll. Absolutely.
Well, I'm just saying. I like it. I'm not sure exactly where my character. Because Fred, I think, would just flee. But I'd rather, as a player, not do that because that's. So we'll see what happens. I'll do a D10. Jackson, do you want to roll yours first, and then I can tell you what it is? Really shouldn't have closed that. Oh, that's the exact same one that you had earlier, which I think was us rolling for the duration.
I think you're muted, Jackson. So if you're saying,
I
things,
sure am. Yes, no, I think I got 4 rounds. I lost at 9 sanity. No. Yeah.
That is losing the amount? Jeepers creepers. Okay.
Yeah, I think I lost 9.
Oh, cool. 9. So 9 is a
no,
foe.
I think sorry, losing, I think it was only like a D. It might have been a D6.
No, you're right.
We've already rolled the loss.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's what
Think-
triggered the bout.
It was definitely enough to give you a bout, so it would have had to. I think I would have said a D6. That would be my vibe. But
I'm
yeah.
actually looking above. We both succeeded. I don't know what that did.
I think you were indefinite, Dave. You.
I am definitely indefinite. I'm for sure in about. I don't know if Jackson is.
Annabelle
actually.
failed.
I failed, and I'm down 9
Oh no,
sanity
I gave
from
you a
last time I
D4.
failed. So I
we're
think I
good.
lost. I've lost 9 for some reason.
Yeah, Annabelle.
A bunch of us might be in.
The people who failed rolled a D10. The people who succeeded rolled a D4, except for David, because you were indefinite, so you rolled the D10 as well.
I think that D10 was me rolling my bout because I'm definitely indefinite.
Yeah.
This is hilarious for
Definitely.
anyone who's binge watching on YouTube.
Trying to figure out
happened
what
2 hours
Sorry,
ago.
I know exactly
We
what
have no
happened. We
memory
could
at
have
all.
looked.
Yeah, no.
Well, I'm
gonna
in a bout of
say-
madness. Jackson, you in a bout of madness. Just check your character sheet. Like, are you? I am
I'm
under.
down to 50 out of 60. I think I got about.
Yeah,
In
that's
that case,
that's
yeah, I'm
actually
gonna
not
say
in.
that,
That's
like-
actually not indefinite. So unless
Not
you,
indefinite.
I don't think you do
No.
have a bout. I don't think you do because
Okay.
mine's from going indefinite. I think you're
you're
right.
right.
Can everyone else just check theirs
Right.
quickly? It might just be me.
I'm pretty sure that
I'm all
those
good.
rolls that we are seeing was I gave everyone, if you succeeded, it's a D4 because you're watching
Yeah.
a man with a head, and
'Cause
for
it
everyone who
sucks.
failed, it was a D10.
Makes
Because
sense
it
to me.
sucks.
Oh,
And
gotcha.
Possibly,
That
So
The only
I
thing
do
is-
have about because I lost.
The only thing
half.
is
Oh no,
it's-
the difference was because you knew him, Jackson. I've just remembered. That was the idea. It was a particular fear to you because you
Oh
had a
yes,
personal connection.
and
with
I
the
also had a
fella.
penalty, so I did too. Okay, all right, so we did take a D10.
I'm not
Resolved.
indefinite,
We're
but I
good.
lost more than 5 in one hit, so I'd like about.
great. We're just going to give both of you a bout, and we'll come
Sure.
back to indefinite later, because at this point, everyone's indefinitely wigged out,
Yeah.
because shit's weird.
Jackson, if you
You
roll a
can
D100,
send in an
you've got a
appeal,
phobia.
It'll be heard before the Supreme
Congratulations.
Court. But
A phobia.
You're the proud new owner
Nice.
of
Lucky 7.
the fear of a maxophobia, fear of being in or riding in vehicles.
That's a pretty tough one to ride to this situation.
Yeah, that's good.
I
That's
guess-
good.
It's not.
Ah,
No, it's not.
I'm also one. Let's go.
Amazing.
I was trying to. My best guess is that carrying a head is somewhat
my
like
God.
it looks like a passenger window or something.
I've gotten
yeah.
ballistophobia, a fear of missiles or bullets. So I think I'm gonna hit the deck.
That just seems reasonable.
Yeah, that's just a sensible person.
Allergic to death.
Cool.
Okay, well, I think that given that the two of you are about to throw yourself into bouts of madness, I'd probably hesitate for a second and go, "Oh God," and look around and see everybody. I'll linchpin. What happens as a result around?
Well, it's kind of up to the two that have their little bout as to what, like, for whatever reason, these ideas latch onto the base of your skull and your instinct takes over and goes bad. Now, there are currently no bullets coming. There are cars around. There would be cars driving around. I imagine possibly maybe one has squealed to a halt, like quite nearby, and the sound of that and the
I think what it is, it was traumatic to be attacked by Kenneth, last night. It's traumatic to be attacked, for this head to come flying out. And it's like in this moment where I'm super vulnerable, I know that there's all these cars around me, and suddenly it's like, oh, I'm surrounded by doors. All these doors on these cars. Who knows what's about to come out of the car? More dead bodies, more murderers. And so that like lodges in Annabelle's mind as like, cars are bad, yo.
Mine's the same. I have a flashback to when Kenneth broke in and was shot by the deputy and killed. Like this person who was in a, possibly could have been saved, blah, blah, was shot and killed immediately. So I don't want things to get to that. So I am going to basically take that into also a fear of the mob as well, yelling and screaming. I'm going to dip the hell out. And I'm avoiding the sound of, any gunfire, any loud bangs or yells or anything. I'm going to hoof it away from the crowd, away from the man with the cleaver, and just scatter for the time being.
I'd probably do the same. Get away from the roads and the cars.
Get the hell out of here.
Entirely reasonable. I probably share a quick glance towards you, the only other sane person there. Did you have an immediate reaction yourself?
Vomit.
Okay.
That's a 7 head.
Yeah, it is. But as a newly minted senior bank associate, this is my time to stand up and be a hero.
That's right.
After probably yelling and kind of freezing for a second, he's just burst out of the back door of the restaurant.
Front door.
Right? Front door.
Main Street. Customers first, then him.
Okay.
Very polite.
We had a whole conversation. I remember when you gave us the update, Annabelle, that he was in that room and wasn't being allowed out, and it really seemed linked into what everything is that's happening. My presumption is immediately, I got to see where he came from. I got to see what the state of that room was. That's going to wrap all of this together.
Yeah, so, Felix didn't let me into Mr. Elmer's office.
Yeah, they're pretty cagey.
And didn't let me see Mr. Elmer. And I was just leaving. I noticed that Mr. Elmer was in the kitchen and either didn't know I was there or was refusing to see me.
So I think hesitate for a second and then grab you by the shoulder, get vomit on my hand, take my hand off.
I did not vomit on my shoulder. I vomited on my shoes. Thank you very much.
Very acrobatic.
It was mine. Come on. The others will be fine. Check inside.
Can't even see the others anymore. Going inside, getting a glass of water.
Okay, fair enough. Skirt the person with the body.
Are you sure we can go like around the back though? If there's like a kitchen one, we just go down this side, the alley between, because it's a diner, right? So there'll be an alleyway for deliveries and shit, and a kitchen door.
Yes, let's go around the side. I'm going to say louder than you. I'm taking credit for people getting the idea of being a bank manager.
Amazing. So in the chaos of Elmer bursting into the main street and chasing people with cleavers and a severed head, you are absolutely able to like dip around the side of the steakhouse, find the back door, the delivery, where they keep the bins, etc.
Where they keep the bins.
And you're able to like get there.
The back door locked, or
it wouldn't be. If it's during service, it wouldn't be.
Because they'd have to go. They'd have to.
I think they've been pretty
and
weirdly
forth.
locked about it before.
Interestingly, it is locked.
Boot.
Okay, we might have
You're
to
right.
bash the.
That's weird, but it's locked.
It is weird.
we might just have to bash through this very quickly. Do we start hearing the sound of? I'm pretty sure that deputy is going to rock up and try and resolve this
blasting.
situation, and the other two are going to get real in trouble. Is there any?
The other two are gone. They both
Would you like to
dipped.
make just a first roll of the new year? Do you want to make a listen
Yeah.
roll for me?
Listen.
Sure. Do you want to do the listen, or will I?
You do the listen.
Okay.
Can I spot hidden and look just before we dip into the alleyway? Just like look around and make sure the others are getting out of dodge.
Sure. Go ahead and make a spot hidden. And for Dave and Jackson, could you go ahead and just give me stealth rolls?
You got it.
Oh, okay.
Stealth.
Get me
Come on.
out of here.
Nikki.
Is there a good reason? I'm not trying to be stealthy, but if you'd like me to,
I
can.
am.
It's just I'm giving you are both afraid, and the thing that people do when they're afraid is they duck down, they hunker, and they
duck and cover.
Like so,
We're both
it's
afraid of
not so
stuff.
much like active. This is
That's
are
fine.
you out of sight and hard to have you made yourself scarce enough in this moment that Eloise, why have I forgotten your character's name? Eloise doesn't spot you. In this case, with a hard success, Eloise absolutely does spot you.
Takes me a second
so
to see.
you can
Annabelle,
see
but
them
yes.
going. Where are the two of you heading? Do you have anywhere in mind, or is it just away?
I know the town layout. It's just away from any roads. Maybe there's a park nearby. Maybe there's like the edge of town. Oh, actually, we've got the map. Let's have a look at the map. I'm gonna have a look at the map and I'll get back to you.
Sure.
Or you can tell me.
Well, if you're looking for like a park, there's the recreation ground, which is kind of towards a little bit more on the edge of town. If you're looking for like places outside of town or on the edge of town, you've got the Jensen farm, which is good old Freddie Jensen. Or there is like a couple of estates, that there is a man, a slightly eccentric, a man who used to be one of the teachers in town, who has a larger house on the outskirts of town as well. A professor.
Just like the shortest route away from the main roads.
You tell me.
Let's head in
I
the
know we have a map,
direction.
but, like,
let's head in the direction
yeah.
of the Jensen estate because that's where we want to go
Because
next.
we're going to do that anyway.
It's true. Yeah.
And
no,
I will
yeah.
go. And I
That's
will
what
go
we were talking
with
about.
you because there's no reason why we wouldn't. So I will. I think as we both bolt, if we can bump into, I've succeeded my stealth test. I will hide and scurry away, and then when I see Annabelle sprinting,
Yeah.
I'll build up the courage and chase after her. I think even though my fear is of missiles and bullets at the moment, the sound of any cars backfiring as they would in the 20s will trigger as well. So I'm also going to
Makes
avoid
sense.
the roads. And I think sort of scrambling through thickets and thorns, we will try to make our way towards the Jensen farm.
That makes sense. And it's not even a conscious thing. It's like, oh, we were thinking about going there. Oh, I
Yeah.
need to get away. That's the location.
And then I
Yeah,
think we
that's where
start to
I'm going.
justify it. We said, the others can meet us there. We did figure out what's
Yeah.
happening.
Yeah.
That was mad crazy. They've gone insane. I'm never going back to there. So
I'm thinking to
forth.
myself, I'm going to have to get a head start and walking because I ain't getting in a car.
Okay, so we're gonna leave you. It's gonna take you a little bit to get out there, so we'll leave you trudging through. We'll find out whether you get hopelessly lost at some point.
Oh, wait.
Probably not. For the other two of you, so Eloise, you see those two heading off in the direction of. I'm gonna say for ease, you can kind of pick. They're going in a direction that you're like, okay,
They're going out of
to
town.
like a couple of different places, but.
Yeah,
You
they're heading out of town. They're
have-
heading towards the farms, and yeah.
And you are familiar with the location of the farm because of your hobby of bathtub gin.
Oh, yeah.
That's another reason to go to
Delicious.
Freddie Jensen's.
I love it. I love it as a hobby.
Hobbies. Everything needs a hobby.
You try and listen, Wesley, over the sound of the screaming and just the general commotion. You are not able to pick out anything that, like, you can't pick out the sound of sirens or anything like that. That's not to say the police aren't coming. You just don't know at this point whether they are close, far, whether they've been called at all. You don't know.
There's a sound of rushing blood and ringing in my ears. I'm not getting much.
Yeah, like for the audience at home, yeah, there are sirens. They're on their way, but that's something that as characters, you're not gonna know.
Excellent. Okay. In
So you're at
which
the back
case,
of yeah.
yeah.
locked door.
In which
What are you
case, look towards you.
Locked.
We got to bust it down.
I don't think we're okay.
Strength check.
Oh, sorry, that was me just on my character sheet. That was me just opening my character sheet back up.
That was
just
the
closing it.
funniest roll you could have made, objectively.
Right?
Swim in
So,
any
are we gonna do this?
situation.
I'm not very strong.
You
let's
are
be
very
honest.
welcome to help each other, and whoever wants to may take a bonus die for smashing into this door. It's not a particularly strong door. It is like, I mean, it gets, it gets locked up pretty good at night, but it is an egress and ingress to a building that is not a residential one, so.
Alex, you fine for me to make the roll?
Absolutely.
In which case, my new take charge attitude, I say, Elise, quick, and pull back and boom, charge forward. Here we go.
Bonk.
Oh, wow, I'm surprised.
You're so surprised. I love the surprise there. Just like,
Amazing.
weird.
So you kind of turn your shoulder. We think we've kind of discussed. Wesley's like a relatively like slightly built man.
Yeah.
He's not exactly the buffest of fellows. But somehow you managed to put all of your, energy into a single point and smack into this door. It has definitely not been like locked in the way that it would for an evening. It would have been, barred and properly sort of like, this has just been like key locked. So you smash through this door. It like, I'm going to say you break the lock. It doesn't come off as hinges, but you break the lock. The door slams open. Technically should go, you break the lock. You're going to have to open the door.
Yeah, I opened it. I'll
so you
swing
like
right
open
through.
it up, and as you open it, you see about a half dozen like confused and or terrified faces looking at you of staff in the kitchen, all like hunkered down either under the benches. From a quick glance, there isn't too many people in here that you would know by name, although you have all shared the information that you got when you had your conversation. So you would have been aware that Fred, when he was having a nice chat to the hairdresser next door, was told that the McDermotts had disappeared.
Yeah.
And you see one Andrew McDermott in the kitchen, looking very bemused and terrified.
Okay, well, obviously I've just barged in here, wasn't expecting to see people, hoped they'd all run out, but taking it in stride, I open the door, stand up and go, I'm here to rescue you, don't worry, he's gone out the front, everybody this way, and point. My intention is to try and get them to leave so that I can then go through the kitchen and ultimately to the office.
I'm just going to walk around the edge of the kitchen and go through to the office.
Sure.
Their kitchen stuff, they're being paid like, what? They don't care.
Well,
Somebody just cut ahead.
Enough.
I don't think
Yeah,
they're
so-
staff. I think they're.
Okay, so you're gonna head straight through into the office. A-okay.
I'm just going through.
Wesley, can you make a psychology roll for me?
Sure.
I'm betting they don't care.
You've already made a sanity roll for this. So Eloise, as you walk out and see the headless body of Felix just like splayed out with blood smatter everywhere in the front room of like in the serving area. I'm gonna say that,
Here we go again.
being here, you like, I don't know if you were expecting it, but when you see it, you're like, oh yeah, that's the
right.
thing. Yeah.
It
You're
had to
welcome
be
to make a
somewhere.
sanity roll if you think it'd give you a tickle, but I'm happy to
let's
just say
go.
that.
Never mind.
All right, take one. It's the
Thanks.
other half. It's not nice.
I see it and I'm like, huh, and then it's like, no, actually, it's better to be somewhere than nowhere. It would be weirder if there
You-
wasn't
Like a
a headless
spider,
body
yeah.
here. Right?
You
want to know where it is. You want to know where your headless body is at all times. You don't want to be like going to bed and being like, shit, where did it go?
Or in the shower, being like, wait, where the fuck is that thing?
Where's
Where'd it
the
go?
headless body?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
So you make your way in, and I'm gonna say for the purposes of this, the office door is easy enough to get open, so you can absolutely go and head inside there, and go ahead and make me a spot hidden roll. It is relatively like it's a pretty standard sort of office with sort of like wood, like pretty simple wood furniture with a desk drawers. Think the office in Ratatouille. You've seen that.
Yeah.
You know what that office looks like. It's got the Venetian blinds. It's got like a chalkboard that has a bunch of notation on there about like menu.
Prep. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
prep stuff.
Interestingly, for that one, although it is kind of in it's hard to make out, but it does seem to be that whoever was doing this was coming up with a new menu. They were in the process of ideating a new menu.
If that
Just Ratatouille,
cleaver-wielding
frozen
chef is
microwave
being
meals.
ratatouilleed, I'm gonna fucking freak out. If that's the twist of this whole scenario, is everyone that's changed is they're all being ratatouilleed. There's just a bunch of evil rats piloting
I love that
these
it's
strange
weird
children around.
No spoilers, but someone write that stuff.
It's a ratatouille.
I wanna call out an excellent GM trick that I just did, which is like, don't describe everything from scratch.
No.
Everyone's seen Ratatouille. Just use something we already
Yes.
know, and it's very evocative.
I mean, it was
love
either that or it was me going like, okay, well, in my head, I'm like, that's the office I'm going to describe.
So why
Okay,
not just say that?
It's
Ratatouille.
the office from Ratatouille. The only thing
I
it's
love it.
missing is the little cardboard cutout of the happy fat man. Because you know,
Because they're
I
not
don't
making
think.
frozen microwave meals yet.
Yeah. So okay. On a failed psychology, Wesley, they all kind of continue to cower and sort of stare at you. They make no motion to move.
It's okay. I know that you're scared, but I persist. I don't think I figure out that there's anything. If they're I'm a little play knowledge, guessing that considering I feel psychology rolls something's up. I start trying to continue this, and
I mean,
in my
I might
head,
have just been asking you to make a psychology roll to get them to move
very true, potentially. Also, more to the point,
because they are scared. So a persuasion might not really do it.
Fair enough. Yeah, good call. Well, in which I keep trying. I guess I'm pushing the roll here. I'm functionally just standing.
Sure.
But in my head, though, I'm very happy to be stalling to provide cover for Eloise to be searching for the officers and stuff like that.
Sure.
Runs back out.
If you're
Can't find
just
shit.
if you're not trying to get them to move, if it's more just you're babbling at them, you don't have to like roll.
Sure.
That's a very acceptable thing that you're like, come on, and they
Yep.
you're essentially at a stalemate. If you
Yeah.
want to push to see if you can get it to succeed, by all means, I would just ask that you offer me something tasty in return.
I think it's almost funnier that I get nowhere. I'm sitting there, come on,
Stonewall.
and just hitting a wall.
Amazing. Stonewall, a couple of decades before its time. So Eloise, in the office, it's a pretty it's a pretty standard off. You don't find anything too like out of the ordinary, with the exception of it does look like a new menu is being developed. I don't think you would have enough of knowledge of different types of handwriting to know whose this was, but it would be, based on everything you've seen, you could take a solid stab that this was likely Felix who was putting this together. You see some references to like pork as a possibility of something.
Balls. I mean, I, the player, know what that means.
It is also, I will say, it is all in French. So like you pick out the word of like,
Nope.
yeah. You do also find the key to the back door that's just sitting on the table in here.
Oh, we broke it, so yeah.
Don't need that anymore.
But in terms of like, it's odd
It was
that
locked. It was locked before he,
and yeah, it's odd that it was locked, and it's pretty clear that Felix was one who locked it.
Yeah.
You can deduce that without too much. But other than that, no, you don't really find anything, except you do see the word, like in the French, you can pick out like the word for like beyond, like inspiration beyond kind of thing, like something to that effect.
Which makes no
is
sense
sort
in
of
a
like,
kitchen.
Yeah,
Weird ass fancy language.
Yeah.
it's sort of like it's you can tell they're trying to create this menu and they're pulling inspiration from somewhere, and that you can see like a little notes of like, all right, where am I pulling? You know, it's the ideation process, the brainstorming process.
Oh, yeah.
And you see that word beyond is just kind of like, it just stands out as an odd word. But outside of that, you don't really see anything past.
I'm just gonna grab a stack of the papers then, and hope that I get ones that make sense down the track or are helpful down the track.
This
the
is
track
all
is
on a
apparently getting-
chalkboard.
Oh,
So
okay.
this stuff's on a chalkboard. There doesn't seem to be like the papers are all sort of just your
Yeah.
standard accounting sort of stuff. So you're very welcome to grab some. You might find something in there, but for the moment, like the most interesting thing is what's written in chalk.
I'm gonna look at it, realize I don't speak French, grab a stack of papers. And I guess either wait for Wesley or head back out to the kitchen and be like, what are you doing? Gotta look in the office. I didn't find anything. You might find something. Look at them. They don't care.
I will say at this point that both of you absolutely do hear sirens outside and cars pulling up.
Never mind.
Yeah, let's
go.
get out of here. And we dip.
Okay. So for the two of you, because you were doing stuff here and were not aware that the police were on their way, they are going to be here when you leave. How would you like to approach the situation? Do you want to try and get out without being seen? Do you want to try and nonchalantly walk through as though nothing's happened? What kind of vibe do you want to take?
I would like to back streets back all right and go away from the main street as much as I can, very quietly.
Lovely.
Stealth, please.
Yeah, stuff, go ahead.
Yeah. Oi. Not great.
Okay.
Wesley, what
Is
do you
that
do?
a fumble, technically?
Nah.
Over
No,
50.
No, above
my
50.
bad. Yep. I think I try to do the same. I'm not
Great,
going to
go
have
ahead and
much
make a
more
stealth roll
success,
for
but let's go. Oh, I'll luck that. I will luck that the hardest I've ever lucked anything.
Okay.
Oh, I have enough luck to do that.
Sorry.
So Wesley, you're able to get out without being seen, but you will still be around for what happens. So you are
Yeah.
currently not visible. But as Eloise, you try and sneak out, you hear from behind you, unless you would like to push this roll.
You know what?
Will,
Fuck it.
Oh God.
Push
Here
it
we
real
go.
good. And what I'll give you is that I'm caught with like stealing a bunch of papers, standing over the body, I think, is where they catch me.
Oh.
amazing. Let's go.
I mean, clearly I'm not the one who did it, but it looks I could look accomplice-y.
Yeah.
Dragging the headless.
Bam!
corpse out.
Oh.
Nice.
Just before we jump in, if it's all right, can I
Failure.
throw myself on this fire as well to like also be implicated in order to grant a bonus die on that push?
You got out, man.
I did, but I turned back for you. Listen, the local bank takes an interest in this community, even though our interest rates are the lowest. I gotta help
What
someone.
I will give you, because we did just get a push that failed.
Yeah.
I will allow a bonus, but this is not going to be you getting away unseen. This is you being spotted, but not immediately implicated and there being a problem.
That's
Like,
only
you will be
yeah.
approached in the way that you would have if you had just been around the scene.
Okay, and that's if we succeed. If we fail, it's big. All right, let's go.
Hey,
Uh-oh.
That does it.
Oh,
that
really?
does it.
Yeah, 45.
Bonus dice. 45 under
Oh,
60.
you have way better stealth than I thought you did.
I have way
Oh my
better
God,
stealth.
That's
That's
so
why.
convenient.
That's why I was like, dude, this is a good bet. This is fine. I have
Oh,
60 stealth.
I
I'm
thought-
fine.
I thought
It's
for some
good.
reason
We're
you-
fine. We're not.
Oh, I had 20.
So essentially what you have done, Wesley, is you have stopped the effect of the push, but it is still a fail. So essentially, so Eloise, you have stepped forward in the kind of
How's it
commotion. You sort of like, you are trying to get around. There's still, like, it hasn't been that long. There's still people that are like, at this point, there's a crowd gathered. Like, people are actually interested in what's going on, especially now the police arrive, like people around. So you get out, realize there isn't an easy way for you to get out the back street. You're going to have to go directly out and then try and like push your way through the crowd without being seen. You are immediately spotted.
Mhm.
But in like stepping out, you are going to fully step out into like the obvious eye line of we're leaving the kitchen, like we're leaving the building. And
Mhm.
Wesley's able to kind of grab you and pull you around so that you look more like you were just in the vicinity.
Yeah.
Which
I was doing a very obvious stand in front of the doorway looking
Yeah.
around, and he's like, no.
And Wesley's able to yank you to the side. You are both spotted, and you do hear the voice of Deputy Alexander go, well, now hold on there a second.
No,
Do
hold
not
on.
hold
If you
on there for a
don't
second.
mind, no one is able to leave the scene. Also,
You are able to leave the scene.
As your lawyer.
Wesley, I think we should leave the scene.
Okay. Sure. I'll start walking with you as if we haven't heard. You've got the stuff. Everything. I can turn back and
I don't think I have anything actually.
All right. Okay. Well.
So I'm gonna say that as you two are like pushing through the crowd to leave, you will note that there are like more than just the deputy around. There are other police around here. Like you can push through the crowd and then immediately see there are like others dotted around that fully would be able to see you going away. Yes.
Just to clarify on the stuff point, because I remember so the papers that you had, those you no longer have them, because I know that
no, I have them. I just think they're not useful. I just grabbed a stack of papers.
It's more that do you have extra stuff on you that's going to implicate you at this point as a result of the papers? Because it's going to be worse for you to get caught.
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, cool.
So the sheriff has called out to say stop. You may not leave until we've taken a statement.
Okay.
Is what they're saying at the moment.
Okay.
You have chosen to try and leave, or are you going to?
I think if there's a bunch of other cops, if
there's a bunch of other cops, and the main thing is that the deputy is the one who shot old mate, right? Like just shot him on sight.
Yes, which is a really good point.
I would love to love to have my statement taken by literally anybody else, like literally anyone else who hasn't like recently shot a civilian for no reason.
So let's turn around and go, oh, okay, cool, and then like try and walk as best we can towards any other person.
Literally anyone else.
Lovely. As you walk over to one of the other police officers and sort of say like, we'll give our statement. He goes, thank you so much for your cooperation, and then calls another one over, and both of them are going to essentially escort you to one of the police vehicles.
Okay.
Something that you can both of you make just a real quick like spot hidden for me.
Sure.
Potentially.
I doubt it.
Nope.
I can.
Jackson, did you? Oh,
Wesley.
Oh, there was just like so many different variations of optimism.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to bring it down.
Wesley,
bring it down. Good.
You see that Leonard Elmer is dead. He's lying on the ground. He's most likely been shot. Eloise, you were able to see that he was shot in the back.
Literally anyone else. Literally anyone except the deputy. Literally anybody.
So, unless you two are going to try and do anything to the contrary, you are going to be loaded into a police vehicle and driven back to the station in order to have your statements taken.
I mean, we don't have a lot of choice here.
Yeah, I
These
think
cops are shooting people in the back.
Yeah.
As you, you both get in the back, the deputy is going to get into the driver's seat, and you see that just one of the other sort of sergeants gets in with him, and they're having a bit of like a sort of like a quiet conversation, but not one that is like you can hear it. They're not trying to hide it from you, but they are saying the deputy sort of the sergeant returns to the deputy and goes, "These are the ones from the other night, sir. Correct?" Deputy goes, "Yeah, they were sticking their noses into where it don't belong. Maybe it's time they got to see." Sergeant goes, "They got to see? Oh, if you think so, sir, I'm sure that can be arranged. I'll get in touch with the professor." "Thank you, Sergeant. I think it's time they got a little glimpse of what's going on."
Oh, see. Oh,
Jim,
okay.
I think we fucked it.
Did you think that you were going on an ocean on a cruise, Jim?
I thought they were gonna drive us into the ocean and drown us. I was still thought we were dead.
It's a long way from where we are in the Midwest.
I think that might be better.
I get probably, but I mean, from like a player perspective, C probably means that we're getting taken the objective at this point. So, Also, this is the second time I've been in the back of a cop car in this freaking Nameless Horrors run. completely helpless.
You are taken to the police station. You are not let out of the vehicle. Call is made. The sergeant, a little while later, gets back into the vehicle and says, "We're going to go on a little trip." And he starts to drive out of town. Pick up
That sounds nice.
in a little bit, because it'll take you a little bit to... There's a little bit of a delay when you get to the police office.
That's what they do. That's what they do. They keep you there. They just leave you in the cell to make you real nervous,
just
make you think about what you've done. For
Actually,
hours.
we'll say it's a bit longer than that. We'll say you spend a little bit of time in a cell, and then they pop you back in a car, or the sergeant will, the deputy will come out and say, "We're gonna go on a little trip." Pop you back
Funny
in the
that
car
would
and head out.
freak
So by
Annabelle
this
out.
stage, it is probably like late afternoon, early.
That is fair. Okay.
That is so much time for Dave
that's
and I to get
fair.
into trouble. Thank you.
So, Fred and Annabelle,
Hey, that's
It's
us.
true.
you are...
Dream team.
We will say that, like, your immediate terror of your phobia and the time it takes you get to the farm fades. It is up to you how those phobias reappear if you do end up in a situation where you lose a bunch of sanity again.
All right, Jackson, we can either
but-
do a quick getaway or we can have a shootout. Now, I vote quick getaway in the car.
Yeah, I don't love the shootout. That's fine. What are the odds of finding guns in cars in the 1920s?
Low.
Very low.
That's what. We'll be fine.
Minuscule.
I don't think I've been out to the Jensens. I'm not a gin distiller or a thief or whatever it is they're up to, or a corpse pincher.
I also probably don't partake. Annabelle is an activist. She's an envelope pusher, but she knows, not to break the law while you're breaking the law.
Yeah,
Mhm.
choose your
Pick
battles.
one law to break at a time.
So what's the setup? What are we looking at?
So first of all, if neither of you have been here before, I'm gonna need a navigate or some maybe some kind of knowledge based role, because you would know vaguely where the farm is. You are both in a bit of a panic, so I'm gonna say that you have kind of piss bolted in the general direction, but you're not following the road, so you don't have that as a direct line. So go ahead, and you are welcome to propose whatever skill you want for this, but just something to get you there.
Oh, I think
Without
navigate
getting-
makes sense.
No joke. Pre-gen Annabelle had heaps of navigate. And I just dumped it and put it elsewhere. But I'll have a go.
I think
It's
strategy-wise,
25.
we're heading towards Wesley's place because we know where that is, and then from there we saw them leave on the road. So I think that will be the long way. That will just take us on foot the rest of the day. Imagine. I'm happy to try for a navigate. I've got base, but I can click a button as well as
What's
the next
base?
man. 10.
What's? Oh, okay. Yep. Nope. I'll have a go.
Yeah, go for it.
Worth a crack.
Worth a crack, but it's probably just because I spend too long just trying to get away from the roads, and
And every time
Fred,
a
you
car
make a
comes
roll as
past, we
well?
throw ourselves off the road
Fred.
again.
Fred has to just catch up with me.
Fred, are you making a roll?
I mean, I've only got base, so I can give it a roll if you want. Sure.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, I'm pretty sure it's this way. I confidently point towards the woods.
No.
But we did say we wanted to get there, and we'll get there eventually. I assume. I
It's the
assume.
spirit of the thing.
Do either of you wish to push this roll?
Ooh, what does that look like?
I have an idea of what will happen if you fail this, but you don't have to. Absolutely not. But I'm not gonna. I'm gonna say that there is a level of there's a level of you might not have agency about what happens if you fail.
If pushing it and failing the push roll doesn't result in this taking longer to get there, I'm
Yeah.
all for it.
Yeah. I think you go for
Will
it,
not
Jackson.
take any
Mine's...
longer for you to fail. You might not get there at all.
Oh.
That sounds fun.
I'm ready to make this something happen.
Yeah. I can
I'm gonna
push.
push the roll.
Yeah, I support that decision.
Worse.
Oh.
So much worse.
Fred, are you also pushing, or are you?
I mean, there's-
Yeah, go
I
on.
can, sure. Yeah,
Let's
at this
double
point,
push.
it's over.
Double
Alternatively,
push.
at this point,
YOLO.
go. You can You can take a bonus dice because there is technically 2 of you, so it probably could have been like 1 rolling with assistance, even though you have base. So, but I don't care. Have a bonus.
I think
I'll just push it.
Sure.
Whatever happens, happens. We're in this together. Yeah. Whoops.
what?
Okay.
Oh no!
God damn
You
it.
succeeded.
Dave, what are you
Can
doing?
I
That wasn't the deal.
Walk that back and give it bonus dice.
We wanted to stumble into mortal danger.
We can stumble into mortal
Oh.
danger, but I know where the Jensen's farm is.
All right.
Yeah, actually, this works out nicely.
It's
So
over
what
there
you-
as the alien ship lands.
You wander around for a while, a little bit discombobulated, kind of your brains are going at 1,000,000 miles an hour. You can feel like you're clammy, you're sweating, your heart rate's increased, your breathing's increased. Every single sound, your head's like on a swivel. Every single time you hear something, you whip your head around to make sure that no one's following you, that there's nothing, that no one's going to come and shoot you, that there are cars behind you, the whole thing. So it takes you like a little bit of wandering around before you're able to calm yourself enough to realize where you even are. And as you sort of reorient yourself, you realize you're a little bit closer to Fred, you realize you're actually a bit closer to the farm than you thought you were. And you're gonna come at it at a slightly odd angle. So you are able to get to the farm in reasonably good time. What the 2 of you walk out, you're able to get the right direction. I will say, actually, what you don't get is distance. I'm going to retcon that and say you don't know how far you are. So you're like, it's in that direction.
Mhm.
Go off and you walk straight into the middle of like the main area. You walk around like something that you think is a tree. It's the side of a barn. You walk into the
We're
center
at
of
it,
this farm.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
And in the center is all 4 of Freddie Jensen's gang. So Freddie himself, the young man that you saw with him, whose name I forgot, and then 2 other people, one man in his mid-40s and another sort of younger man in probably his mid-20s that you often see wandering around together. All 4 of them, are considered to be part of Freddie's gang. It is something that has existed well and truly before these 2 days. And they are all in the process of loading up a handful of people into the back of a couple of vans, or like pickup trucks. One of whom you would recognize as Gladys McDermott, along with a couple of other people that you don't know by sight. Gladys is Andrew McDermott's wife.
Yeah, these are the ones that were in theory.
Who, as she's getting
Oh.
loaded on, very specifically kind of winces away from being touched by anyone. You clock that as you sort of walk in. These do not look like people wanting to go willingly. But you also notice that they have a bunch of like shotguns and they see you.
Okay.
Oh man. A
As we've been
shotgun
coming-
and a van? That's
Let's get out of here.
Yeah, pickup truck.
That's no good.
I think
A
I've
truck.
been nattering away the whole way as we're traveling. I think as we come around the corner, I let out a yelp and try and duck back behind cover and out of sight. I'm gonna try and avoid them.
Amazing.
There's like 100,
Um,
right? There's like a bunch of these dudes, like 6 or so.
No, there's 4. There's 4 guys
Okay.
and a couple of like probably.
That's more than us, and they have more.
That's
Let's,
twice
Yeah,
as
and
many.
there's probably
dip.
about the same number of people again that they're loading into the back of like a
We have to free
pickup
them.
truck.
I let out a yelp and try and whirl back
Actually, I know
around
exactly
behind
what kind of vehicle this is. Sorry, it's one of those ones with the cage tops that you take like sheep or like
Chickens.
Oh no!
that like one of those. So it is
That's
like
not
the bed of it is solid, but the actual like enclosure is more like a cage.
I would also like to hide.
Great. They have seen you.
That's okay.
You hear Freddie in his delightful, nasal, unpleasant way go,
Nice fella.
"Well, look who we have here! The lesser of the Freds." And as you go to like bolt, he goes, "I wouldn't!" What are the 2 of you doing?
Bolt.
No
They are
bolting.
raising guns.
Yeah, we
at
get the fuck out. We back the fuck out. I don't. If they got guns, I'm dodging. Hell no.
you. Okay.
We came around a
are
tree
you-
or something, right? Like, because we didn't see it until we were right on it. So I'd try and go the hell
Yeah.
back the way we came from and out of sight.
Right, so you're gonna try and duck behind the tree, essentially. Like you're gonna
And
try
for,
and
like, I'm
dive
not just,
behind the-
I'm not like plan to Looney Tunes it, I'm getting out of and I'm going the hell back, and then we can try another entrance or something.
Okay.
I'm trusting they're not going to want to chase too far with a bunch of people or hostages or whatever on there. But we'll see what happens.
Okay. Annabelle, what are you doing?
I'll be honest, I was about to comply. I was about to stay still and listen to their evil plan.
You do that,
But
Jackson,
then-
and
no,
I'll
no, no,
run.
That's what I was going to do. But then Fred piss bolts, and I was like, oh, that's an opportunity for me to piss bolt. Now they're distracted. Now they're confused because we didn't do the same thing at the same time. So I'd like a bonus die with whatever happens next.
And I die.
Cool. I appreciate you asking for a bonus die. You're not
I'll always ask.
Worth
Always
a
ask.
shot. You
gonna
can't
just say
fault him.
you're not. No. So I don't know how far 10 yards is. So I don't
About a
know
meter.
whether you're within 10 yards.
Yeah, it's
of-
about a meter.
10 yards is
meter?
about 10 meters, isn't it? Roughly.
Yeah, as in it's a yard to a
sorry.
meter,
No,
more
no,
or
but
less.
yeah, but no. Here where I've gone wrong. Shutting up.
What?
Nine-
Is it a
90
meter or 10 meters?
91
10 meters. 10
centimeters.
meters. It's 10 meters.
10
No,
meters.
no, a yard
1 yard
meter.
is 1 meter, more or less.
91 centimeters.
Cool. That also doesn't help. I'm terrible with distance. So you tell me
Yeah,
how
up to
close
you.
you are. I did say that you
It's-
you pretty much walked directly into the center of them.
But they're like
so-
it's like a farm, right? Like,
Yeah, it's a pretty
I'm-
unkempt farm.
I'm pretty excited about being shot. So if you want to put it at 10 yards,
Yeah,
fire at
sure.
will.
We'll say you absolutely got close enough for them to see who you were and knew them, and it is like getting towards the later end of the afternoon, so the sun is going down. So in order to the reason that you were able to you walked so far in without kind of knowing is a lot of the farm. While Jensen does keep livestock, this area is really well known for lumber. So there is a huge amount of his farmland that is just covered in forest, essentially, or woodland. There would have been clues as to the fact that you were getting into a fenced off area that was actually part of a farm. You just didn't see them. Yeah. So you were wandering through thinking you were still miles away, and then you've literally come through a tree line directly into the part of the farm that has the barn where the tractor is kept, the main house, a pen for animals. Everyone, you are literally outside the farmhouse. These people are being loaded from one of either the farmhouse itself or one of the nearby barns. You are next to the farmhouse, essentially.
That's
is how central you are to this. To just give you scope. So
that's
I'm
a fine place to run. No, it's not. It's not trying to the house.
So the two of you are going to run. They are going to try and shoot you. So would you like to piss bolt and take your luck, or do you want to dodge?
Dive for cover in the nearest, behind the nearest building or obstacle.
Well, if we do that, we're kind of stuck where we are, right? And they can just hold us.
Yeah, that's okay.
If as soon as they wheel guns around, I have a phobia of them. I run. I go as fast as I can, and as fast as my little legs will carry me. So I bolt. I will not throw myself around.
Good point.
In that case, just to keep things moving nice and quickly, Annabelle, go ahead.
I guess
I'm
dodge
just gonna
because I'm
kinda
diving for cover.
Yeah, go ahead and roll a dodge for me. Great.
Oh my god!
No, not just great. Not just great.
Phenomenal.
Outstanding.
The
I
perfect
want to
dodge.
reward
Well done.
this, but I'm not going to give you the option to get away. So instead, what I'm going to do
I just want a
is
really good
say-
obstacle.
I'm going to say, for one, the shot misses you. Obviously.
Good.
You will be apprehended,
That's bad.
but you are able to convince them that you're going to go willingly. So you are not manhandled or roughed up. They take a shot that absolutely would have killed you. You manage to get into complete cover and then come out with your hands
for
up.
long
being
enough for them to
okay.
calm down and not shoot again.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
essentially, you are in the best possible position you could be in this
Yeah.
situation.
That's fine. They're like, oh man, she's quick. Yeah, no, it's gonna be easier for us if we
Yeah,
don't.
she's
You will be put into the back seat of this vehicle rather than the cage.
Oh, so I can't talk to them. That's very cunning of them.
I mean, it's also
Nicer.
they're looking at you in a kind of we're not sure about this kind of. You can go ahead and make a psychology roll if you want like more insight into
that's a
why they're doing what they're doing.
fine
Won them
idea.
over a
Fred,
bit.
can you please give me a constitution check?
Da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na.
Oh. Annabelle rolling very well.
Go, Fred, you champion. Quick as you
Go on.
like. Quick as a whip.
So Fred, you get quite a ways away, and you're.
I
able
also
to
was
keep
one that
going for a
succeeded my
little while.
navigate checks, so I might have a sense of where I'm heading.
It is entirely up to you where you want to head. All I'm going to let you know is that you are currently out of line of them.
Love that for me.
You do not hear or see Annabelle following you. You're not sure if she's behind or not. You have no real knowledge of that. But you have gotten away, and you've gotten quite far before you can get quite far if you choose to before you start to tire.
Yeah.
That is entirely in your
My
hands.
intent will be to wheel around and come back less obviously. So now I know that was a bad path to take. Now I'll try and find a good one.
Okay.
You're going to stumble in the back door this time.
Yeah. They immediately
Nuts.
whirl around and just shoot guns at me, and I go, well, I run again.
We
Get
will
outta
say
here.
that then, for the sake of this, Wesley, I will say that you are able to get back to a position where not only are you hidden, you can also somewhat overhear what is like happening.
Love that.
So Annabelle, you're able to get back. Actually, do go ahead and give me just a quick stealth roll just to see like how close you can get. This is not going to impact your ability to hear or see. It just means that you're not going to be able to act quickly.
Gotcha. I have failed that.
So, for the sake of this, Wesley, you will see everything that happens to Annabelle, which is essentially that like the four of them come up, apprehend Annabelle. There's a bit of like an exchange of glances. You hear like Freddie, like one of them looks like they're gonna come over and grab Annabelle quite roughly, and Freddie goes, da 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 da. We don't know what one she is yet.
Ooh.
We don't know.
Now what does that mean with my psychology?
So
roll?
let's be careful. Maybe we should well, the professor will know. And they'll load her into the car. So you are being treated with a measure of like not caution or fear, not quite respect.
It's like
more,
I belong to someone else. I might belong to someone else. It might be someone else's decision to see what to do with
there's
me.
something else. You get the vibe that they're waiting for something to happen. And Annabelle will be loaded into the back.
Hard success, give me everything else for 3 points of luck.
If you want to spend luck, you certainly may, and I can give you a bit more information.
Did we have had luck rolls at the start of this one?
No.
Yeah.
That's fine. Yeah, 3 points of luck. Hard success in psychology. Give me everything you got. What's going on here?
Then.
What you see with a hard success that you wouldn't have picked up with a standard is right before Freddie says like, wait a second, which is relatively like, he's a cavalier kind of slimy gentleman. There is a very minor, very like hard to pick moment of like fear or apprehension right before he says, now hold on a sec.
An apprehension of... Not
It
sure
doesn't
what.
seem to be directed at you.
Damn it!
Might be
I
directed at
thought
me.
they were secretly terrified of me.
I will, with a hard, you can tell that is not it. His eyes go like up as though he is thinking about something that is not there, like remembering
understand.
something. Has that kind of look of shit, and then goes, whoa. We don't know.
Okay.
We don't
You
know which
guys-
one she is yet.
So you gave me that with the psychology, and then my next kind of inference is they have to ask someone else what to do with me, because they
Correct.
might have some other ideas.
Um,
And they don't want to do the wrong thing.
no.
And it's probably
And
this professor character who keeps
as you're
coming
like,
up.
yeah, as you're getting loaded in, you also hear like there's you hear a phrase along the lines of, like as you're driving. Actually, I'll wait to give you that because we'll see what Fred does, whether he
That's fine.
want to do, Fred.
So
So
he
at this
dies?
moment, you are going to see all of this happens. You are not able to interfere in anything up until the point that like Annabelle is loaded in and they are getting ready to head out. What would you like to do?
So, they're all loaded up into one vehicle or two, was it?
Because there's 4 of them, a bunch of people. I'm gonna say it's like
Yeah, like 6.
2.
plus,
One of
yeah.
them is like a truck with like 2 people and the truck bed. The other one is just like more of a standard vehicle in which Annabelle is in the back of that one.
And do they seem to all be planning to leave?
Yeah, everyone's going.
I'll remain then and plan to have a snoop around.
Great.
What do they do when I ran off? Now that I've kind of done a big loop and come back, are they like, keep an eye out for Fred. He's the most dangerous of them. He could take down this whole operation. He's good. Special forces.
Yeah.
You know
That's
what?
what I was hoping
I
for
will
as
give you
well.
this because why not? A part of what you overhear there is that like little aside of what do we do about the other one? And
I don't care.
the response essentially is Freddie turns to the one of them who asks and goes, I mean, where's he gonna go? I wouldn't worry.
Where's he gonna go?
Good
Where's he
points
gonna
being
go?
made. Okay.
So it seems to be, yeah, he just go. The response to what do we do about the other one is where's he gonna go?
Not home. We know that because you've lost your house.
We've foreclosed his house.
With I guess
Wow.
with an underlying implication of we can get him later.
Yeah, don't love that. Okay.
I'm not worried about you.
I've got the drop on him. They don't know where I am. I'm gonna stay hidden. I'll let them leave, and I'll plan to investigate later.
In the car, then on the way, Freddie will be in the car with you, Annabelle, and one of the young guy that rocked up when they collected Kenneth's body. And again, these people are having a conversation in the front of the car. They don't seem to give it's a quiet conversation, but again, they don't seem to be trying not to be overheard. And the young one goes, do you think, she could be one of them? Freddie goes, I don't know what she's gonna say, do we? So, be careful. One of them. No, we don't fuck with them.
Okay.
I guess I'll hold my tongue. Just keep watching and listening.
So,
Got to save my energy for whatever's coming next.
you are driven a little ways into town again, and then you see that you're leaving.
Oh no, I'm in a car. I'm freaking the fuck out.
Oh yeah.
This
You
is
hate
not
those
good
things.
for me.
You are, I will say,
Uh,
like, your phobia at the moment is under your control. So you
Sure,
are
but it's
not,
like,
so
it's-
it's not pleasant.
But it's brand
Being
new.
shot is currently less pleasant. Like, dying is worse than being in a car
Close, though.
currently.
Sure,
But-
but like on some level, it's a brand new phobia. It's the first time I've been in a car. I don't
Maybe
fully,
this is
I fully
sort
don't
of
fully
where it
understand
develops,
it.
where it cogitates or something.
Yeah,
like it's
you-
not just
yeah,
sit in
yeah.
while you're here.
I would say that at the moment, unless you want to go full crazed, in which case it might make everything a lot more difficult, I will
bananas.
say that
No.
the
I'm just
the
like
feeling you
shaking
have
the
at the
car
moment
door.
is
It's
a
not good.
deep, like there is a pit sitting just above, like just in your diaphragm. It feels a little bit like you feel a little bit nauseated. You feel like there's a bit of like a rock or something heavy sitting in there, but it's
Yeah.
also got a real sense of like distortion, like flickering, like a real sort of agitated feeling around your diaphragm and a little bit up into like your chest. You're not sure what the fuck's going on. For anyone playing at home, Annabelle is kind of on the verge of a panic attack.
It's
So
just
that real, like, your
Yeah.
vision's going a bit blurry around the edges. You're having a little bit of a hard time hearing. So the fact that you don't jump in when they're talking about you, you absolutely know they're talking about you and they do not seem to care that you can hear them. But you are absolutely, like, you've got that weird, like, warmth in your ears and you're not sure what's happening to you. You are not having a panic attack, but there's definitely a rising feeling of something
Gross
that is
feeling in
making
my
your
tum-tum.
jaw clench and all of your like muscles kind of freeze in a real like unpleasant way. Not paralyzed, but it's just,
But
hopefully.
as far as they can tell, I'm biding my time.
As far as I can tell, you're silent and probably scared,
Take
but
down
who knows?
this whole operation. Special forces.
I'm not going to give them psychology rolls. Because I don't think.
No, yeah. I'm gonna sit quietly.
So, Fred, we're going to try and get through the so go ahead and make a spot hidden
I have a
roll for
snoop.
me. You have a bit of time. Go ahead and snoop.
What's all this then? Bit spotted trouble. Looks legitimate. Well, they took the body and did something weird with that. That's what I'm looking for. And we heard the body came back. So I'm looking
Right.
for the corpse.
So I'm going to
Fresh turned
say
grave.
I'm
Check the
gonna-
basement. So on
I'm going to give you a lot of info,
Appreciate
and
that.
Fred is going to find none of it.
Well, in that case,
no.
I'd rather find it. So can I luck? I'll just burn a shitload of luck if it gets me some.
No, it's fine. You
Well,
essentially.
no, I did
you
fail.
will-
I'm happy to burn for it, but I would like to find stuff rather than.
We should.
You'll
we
find
should.
some stuff. Like I will give you you find this, this, and this, and then I'll give you the overarching stuff just as
I
narrative.
might just spend. I'm gonna punch out a quick 50 whatever points of luck that is.
Sure,
And turn that into a
go for it.
success. Because I'd
You know what?
rather.
I'm not in charge of making sure y'all survive this, so by all means, burn your luck.
I burned 56 points of luck.
Hell yeah.
Find out what's going on.
Let's go.
So, the
That is
things
a
that you
success.
the things that you spot that are out of the ordinary, or at least things that are noteworthy. Freddie Jensen keeps a lot of pigs,
Yeah.
and those pigs look pretty well fed.
Okay.
Pretty
Do I
sure.
have any natural work? No. Damn. The
Uh,
man loves
I'm
his
gonna-
pets. That's good. Do I find some
You-
human bones nearby or something that I can begin to put that together?
Clothes, maybe?
Yeah, we'll say
Yeah, clothes.
it's not. You find enough scraps of cloth or things around, maybe a half-eaten shoe, that you're
Okay.
got it.
Any chance
Pigs be
it's
eaten.
any chance I can identify the shoe from the bloke that was there, Kenneth? That's what I'm mostly looking for because he turned up again. That's my main investigation.
Yeah.
point.
I'm gonna say no, but
Okay.
only because one, this is a regular spot hidden, and two, there's a number of things.
Okay.
This doesn't look like it's just one person. There is enough
Yeah.
stuff here that you're this is a few different scraps of fabric. This is a couple of different types of leather. This is not a one-off thing.
Yeah, gotcha.
The other thing you note is that a fair number of these buildings have new locks or fresh chain lock. The barn has a pretty fresh chain lock, and it is locked. If you go and try and peer into
do
the
have
window, you can
locksmithing.
see. Sure, you can go ahead and roll locksmithing if you like.
Sure. I mean, if I have time, am I able to just work my way through some of these, or I can roll?
I will give you, if you've got locksmithing, I'm not even going to make you roll for it. I'll say this is a new lock. It is quite a good lock. With time, you will be able to get into it. And even if you can't, you can look through a window. It looks like there has been sort of bedding set up for a bunch of people in here. So there's some rough pillows and blankets and things like that seems to be in this area, in this chained barn. And the farmhouse itself, the most notable thing about this is that a lot of the windows have been shuttered, especially the windows on the upper floor. And I don't know, I think there's probably a ladder that you can get up onto the roof to kind of have a bit of a look
Or
around.
my intent would be to
It-
go inside. I want to look for notes and things.
Yeah, okay. That's going to take quite a long time to go through the whole farmhouse. It's a pretty decent sized building.
I'll start at the front door.
There are ledgers kept of money in and out. It's not really clear exactly what is going in and out or what they are getting paid for. It's all sort of under the table stuff. It's very clear that what is listed is not actually what they're getting paid for.
I do also have above
but-
base accounting. It's not high,
Ooh.
but I have accounting. So I will.
You're welcome to.
Yeah.
Go ahead and make an accounting roll.
My intent would be, what is his ties to the deputy, and when did this all start? I noticed things beginning to get weird about a week or change ago. Can I tie that into? Can I see who else in town might be involved in this? We know that Annabelle's senior was acting weird, or the head waiter and things like that, the head of the bank, things like that. Can I see those names through here at all? Can I begin to put together what's happening? Yeah. Nowhere close.
No.
Damn, wish I could read.
Yeah, I will say that from this, it is clear that what is being listed as provided or like sold, is not is not what's being listed. They are getting paid for things definitely under the table.
That does mean that
exactly they are
at least concerned about being caught. They're not just like brazenly like listing illegal things. Like they're not like the deputy's on our side, the sheriff's on our side. Who's going to take us down? Like they're hiding this from someone at least. At least the IRS isn't involved in.
No. Again, so you're going through the ledger's probably the most interesting thing in the farmhouse itself. You can see that it looks like the 4 members of the gang most likely stay here.
Yep.
Like are in the farmhouse. There's sort of rooms for all of them. What you do notice that is interesting and unusual, or at least notable. Every single skylight is blacked out.
Okay.
Anything that would look like the windows on the upper floor are shuttered. And the windows on the ground floor are like, they're not shuttered, but they're definitely like most of them have like curtains drawn, whether that's for secrecy or what have you, you're not sure. But if you go into the barn, blacked out skylight. If you go into the farmhouse, blacked out skylight. If there is a skylight or in any place, it has been blacked out.
Sunroof in the car. Yeah, okay. That's the weird thing. I don't think I have anything I can tie that to yet. All right, well, this all takes me a while, I imagine, but once this happens, whether it's heading towards dusk or whatever time it is, I will see if I can find another vehicle that's stored here and make my way into town. Or if there isn't one here, I will head to Wesley's house and see if he has a car.
So,
I head into town.
Thank you for reminding me. That is actually another notable thing you find. There are several vehicles here, one of which, I'm not going to say, I don't care whether you would know this or not. One of them is the McDermott's car.
Okay.
That was missing from their driveway.
I'll take that one. I'll return it to them after I'm done.
So you see that there are a couple of vehicles here that look not like farm vehicles. They are fully, town vehicles. And they are parked here. A couple of them look like they were parked. They haven't been moved again. They just seem to have been parked here. In fact, you could probably, I'm not going to even make you make a natural world. You can see like tire tracks go in. There's no exit ones. It's not like they go in and out. Obviously, there are the tire marks from the truck, so it's not able to you wouldn't be able to follow them back to where they came from.
Yep.
But yeah, you would be familiar enough with the mustard yellow of the McDermott's family home vehicle.
A hell of a machine.
Mm-hmm.
I rev that engine, all 11 horsepower, and I race into town, knowing that my friends may be.
Amazing. So as you race into town, the 4 of you are taken out of it. You are driven up and out, not too far outside of town, but the road winds up to the top of one of the taller hills that surround the town to a modest to reasonable size estate, manor house kind of thing, which is owned by the eccentric Professor Hart. So Melvin Hart was a teacher back at the school a little whiles ago, before your time. Had moved on to do other things, but returned to the town a few years back and took up residence at this place out of town. The house is it's got a gated off, it's got a nice wall to protect its gardens. And outside of that, it is a sort of beautiful 1920s or probably 1800s house estate. And you are driven up to the gates. There is someone at the gate who greets you. Someone you're not, again, a face you recognize but couldn't put a name to. The sheriff for you two leans out and says, "Got another couple for tonight's ceremony. Gotta find out what they see." And the person at the gate nods, says, "Well, just need to wait for it to get dark." And you are driven in and taken to the sort of like got the driveway and taken up to the front of the building, and are escorted out and into this house. The professor, you do not currently see him. You are essentially led through the entry hall and into kind of a lounge area, like a sort of, somewhere that people would have tea, entertain some guests. The deputy, there are a couple of other people dotted around, again, faces you recognize, names you don't know. We're kind of bustling around. Some people are dusting. Some people seem to be like taking, dishes. You can hear the sounds of something going on further on into the house, probably in the kitchen area. And I would say you're probably the first people to arrive. But you are led into the lounge area. The deputy and his sergeant come with you. And all the deputy says to you is, "Why don't you grab yourselves a drink and try not to get mud on the carpet. Make yourselves comfortable."
Okay, well, we'll do. When I get a moment, I'm going to lean over to Eloise and whisper, I think I'm getting promoted again.
I don't think that's what this is.
Okay. All right. Then.
I think we got to make a break for it as soon as we can.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds sensible.
As the two of you wait, a few more people start to filter in. You can, actually, no. Before anything else, the professor, you see the professor. He is a, slightly older gentleman in a very nice tweed suit. He's got spectacles on. His hair is like silver, very neatly pushed back. Sees the two of you with this warm smile. Comes over and says, "Hello, welcome. Oh, it's so nice to have you. Oh, wonderful. You here for tonight's viewing?"
I've been told that's the case. Technically I think I'm here to make a police statement, but it seems that the procedures are a little
Oh, never mind about all that. It'll all be resolved very soon. So very excited. We do love the possibility of new people joining the fold. As the Reverend says, all of us together, truly blessed, truly blessed.
Right. Is this like a social club situation?
Thing like that. Yes. It'll all make sense soon enough. Don't worry. The others should be arriving soon. A few of them will need to take their turn, but then we'll get everything ready for you. And one way or another, well, you know.
I don't.
Pats
I
you on
really
the arm and
don't.
says,
And he
"Now I
knows.
must make sure all of the is ready." And he disappears off into there's a set of pretty large, double wooden doors that he opens and disappears. Opens one of, ducks inside of, closes, and you can hear he's a little bit of sound inside a room off to the side of the house. You would actually have noticed as you came in that there was a pretty large rounded room or something off to the side with a domed roof.
That's good.
He said, but they didn't know. But he knew that
But
they
he
didn't
knew.
know, and he said,
Right? He knew we didn't
He
know,
said,
and he said
"If
it
you know,
anyway.
you know."
I think
Oh, right.
I think
you.
it's going to do with seeing, right? They're going to show us something, and that's going to maybe we can I don't wear glasses, but otherwise I'd break them. Maybe we can learn to go cross-eyed. Can you go cross-eyed really well?
No.
Okay. Well,
my mother always told me that would damage my vision.
All right. Well, so if we do it now, maybe we'll damage our vision. Okay. Let's start looking for a way out of this, and in the I'd start trying to like cross my eyes again and again, like in the meantime.
So as you are like trying to think of a way to deal with the situation, this predicament you find yourselves in, you start to hear other voices of people arriving. Eloise, you are able to pick out the voice of the Reverend quite clearly. He comes in not too long after and seems to be talking effusively with a voice that you, Wesley, would have heard only this morning when you went to the bakery. Mrs. Baker from the bakery is there, you know,
I bet she
talking,
loves that.
Baker is called
like,
Mrs. Baker?
Yes.
A twist.
Yeah, I know, it's delightful. Her first name is Ethel. Do with that what you will. So Mrs. Baker comes in and is talking excitedly about, you know, new things that she's trying, you know, the specific effect that she's looking to achieve with her new culinary like experiments. You can hear the Reverend is sort of, you can't hear what he's saying, but the tone is one of like affable, you know, agreeable sounds. You can tell me more.
He's yesing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's yes.
Uh-huh.
Not
yes.
yes-anding, but
Yes.
It's a different.
not you actually like they will at a point come into the lounge as well. The Reverend will see you and give you sort of like a very big smile, seems very pleased to see you, but is engaged in conversation with Miss Baker, and they don't turn to like talk to you at all. They are continuing their conversation. This lounge is a pretty big area to be like, it's one of those like big entertaining kind of areas. A little while after that, you see Mrs. Brady, who you know has is the one
Who's
that
the
worked on
braider?
the radio, who came in and helped Annabelle's mum with the radio earlier today. Comes in, sees the other two, waves at the glances at the two of you, doesn't really pay you much mind in the same way that like teachers don't pay their pupils much mind outside of school, and you were at one point her pupils. So she walks in, sees the others, waves to them, goes off, and you can see there is like a large crystal radio off in the corner that has like looks like it is a work in progress, and she heads straight over there and just starts tinkering with it. Not too long after that, the head of the bank, Mr. Bingham, along with the two young boys, Brad and Todd, school, come in. He is talking very assertively about balances and all manners of accounting. The level of mathematics that this goes is well above the kinds of things that the two of you are used to hearing, and definitely you, Wesley. The two boys seem to be keeping up with no problem whatsoever, although they do look a little bored, because as soon as he goes in, sees the other two, and goes to talk to them, you see the two of them turn to each other immediately and start talking about the fact that there is almost certainly something that has to exist in between the stars, because the gravitational mass would, if you have a density enough, the gravitational mass would be so much that it would be able to capture light itself, and that's something that absolutely would be a thing. And then you start hearing them talking about superposition. Talking about like superposition and the collapse of the waveform, and when light if light is in fact a particle, and if so, well then it could be captured by this incredibly dense gravitational mass. A lot of words being thrown in there are things you are deeply unfamiliar with, and honestly a lot of physicists of their time would be deeply unfamiliar with. For anyone playing along at home, they are having a basic conversation about Hawking radiation. They are starting there, and these are 10-year-old boys.
Back in my day, things were particles or waves. Didn't have any of this stuff. One or the other.
What is of most
Pick a
interest
line.
to the two of you, though, is when the Ferguson twins arrive, being followed by their mother.
Ah.
Wesley.
Yeah.
The girls...
very two clarification questions very quickly, because I might immediately leap into action and get bullied, and would love to know the context before that. So one thing I'm noticing, would it be safe to say that everybody who is coming in are the people who seem to have been exposed to some kind of surge of inspiration, basically?
That would be a very, very good observation to make, yes. Okay. And I will these people are being accompanied by one or two other people who seem to be, for want of better terms, manservants or something. They are there in the background, quiet. They take their coats, and when they are, some of them remain in the room, so it isn't just these people. They are accompanied by a few others. A few of them do move off and head in the direction of potentially, like, you know, the house, whether to, like, usually at, like, the behest of the person that they have come with, or similar. There are, for want of a better term, servants wandering around.
Kind of person you might get to run a restaurant for you if you were,
The kind of person, these are people who do not seem to question what it is they're being told to do.
Okay.
So that is where you get the idea of, like, these people are in some form of servitude.
Sure. And last question is, they made jokes about, like, get a drink, make yourselves comfortable, right? Weird point to hang on, but, like,
is there anything to do that with?
Well, yes. So is it actually a situation where they are,
do they just have a bar card
thought about the people that they're bringing in, or is it genuine insanity and they've just, like, locked everyone in a room and said, make yourselves comfortable? Or is there actually a little craft services table that someone is actually...
No, yeah, there's
or is there, like, just like a bar table? Like one of those little kind of bar, like little bar trolley things?
There is definitely, like a small thing of drinks that a few of the people have already gone over to, like, serve themselves with. But as more people arrive, you see some of those, like, some of the individuals that were already in the house when you came will come in with, like, a tray of something and like, you know, offer people drinks. It seems to be predominantly quite nice wine. There is, like, someone is, like, sent off and comes back with like a martini or something to that effect. Like, it does seem to be quite nice. And then
I love a flute of champagne if they have that going.
You see these people. Do you want to call one of them over?
Just a glass of wine. A glass of any wine in a wine glass would be great.
You walk in and one of them comes over. Go ahead and make a quick psychology roll for me.
Sure.
That's a good idea.
No. I'm gonna actually like that. I'm liking that one. Liking that one. That's easy. So yes.
Okay. They do not look at you directly. When you ask for something, they nod and almost mumble something in, like, acquiescence. It appears to be a mixture of, like, they seem a little fearful, not in a directly, like, I'm terrified way, but just in a there is an air of concern. For anyone who's met my cat will know what that is like.
Yeah.
But it is just kind of a little bit of, like, like, concern, coupled with a real, like, daydreamy sort of vibe. Like, they're not quite there. You ask for something and they sort of mumble an agreement, but you
I gotta ask a couple of times.
Yeah. You are almost tempted to ask, like, to make sure they get it, but they do head off, and they do come back with exactly what you said. You only had to say it once, but you weren't sure whether they heard you because they sort of floated away. The other thing that you notice, and I'm not going to make you make a spot hidden for this because it is pretty obvious, like, if you're actually analyzing their face, you note that one of their eyes appears, like, a bit clouded. There's a cataract over one of them.
They've been crossing their eyes too much.
Yeah, don't do that.
And you think back, you specifically think back to when you went to the Ferguson house and Glenda had that kind of moment where she was a bit odd and said, help. And she had one of her eyes bloodshot. Like, not clouded, it was, like, bloodshot and slightly bruised.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
As you like notice that and make that connection, almost everyone who isn't talking effusively has something slightly off with one of their eyes.
Okay.
Not always the same one, but it looks like, various degrees of discoloration, damage, clouded over, like twitch, like a tick.
Okay. Yeah. Cool.
So towards the time that the twins arrive, we will say, Annabelle, you are also delivered and taken inside.
Delivered.
For you specifically, there is an exchange that happens between the cars pull up outside, the two of you inside note the sheriff leaves the room, and then comes back in a moment later with Annabelle and a group of people that are sent off into the house.
Okay.
One of whom is Gladys McDermott. Annabelle, you would have seen a conversation, or like seen, not heard a low conversation between the deputy and the gang, and after which you were kind of like given over to go inside along with these others, and the four of them have essentially taken up positions outside the house.
I have a...
They are, and they do not seem to be welcome inside.
Huh.
I have a thought, because I think escape might be a whole thing that is looking less and less likely.
It's going to turn into a whole thing.
It's going to turn into a whole thing.
Yeah.
Can I, if the bank manager is here,
Yes.
right? And he recently promoted me and sort of trusts me and gave me a bunch of work. Could I would like to see, like if I can sort of ingratiate myself into a conversation with him. My ultimate goal would be to try and get him to let me use a phone on the excuse of there's stuff happening now that needs to get resolved.
Yeah.
You've got me to do it. You trust my work, and I want to try and call my house or call Eve Eloise's mum or something. See if I can basically get a message out to Fred.
Annabelle's turned up, right? So they know I'm not.
Yes.
Which is,
They
I'm
know-
assuming at
they
this
know
point
you're-
that it's going to,
yeah.
that's trying to get a message out.
Very reasonable. So you go and speak to Mr. Bingham, who says, Mr. Frost, lovely to see you. I wasn't expecting you to be here so quickly, but I am glad to see you're here.
Well,
I knew I made the right choice.
I took your decision seriously, and I'm working to do my best in all things. As part of that, I didn't expect myself to be here. There are irons in the fire.
I'm surprised you didn't. Were you not making inquiries? Was this not something that you put forward yourself? I would have expected you to be a get up and go sort of lad.
It's sort of that's it. It sort of happened, but happened organically. I didn't know I'd be. The point is,
we should never trust organics. It's the numbers that matter.
Yes, that. But the point is, I've been feeling, inspired recently. Just so massively.
Good. That's the exact kind of attitude you need. It's a very exciting time for you, and I do hope it goes well, because I wouldn't want to have another failure.
Point is, I need to make a phone call. Otherwise, bank business, some of the stuff.
Oh, no phone calls. No, bank business can wait. This is more important. And if you come out the other side, well, you'll have plenty of time for business after that.
Oh, I'm sure it's just, if you had a failure, it'd be such an inconvenience to have to deal with all that stuff. Well,
not really. I'm not usually the one that has to deal with them. That's usually the sheriff's job. He gives them to one or other of the wonderful blessed.
I didn't deal in terms of paperwork and things, but
this is one of those instances, son, where paperwork doesn't quite work.
Okay.
Also, we don't need paperwork to know if you're in or you're not. You know what I mean?
Right.
Are you excited?
I'm very excited. I'd be more excited if I could get to a phone, but look, it's fine. Okay.
What are you trying to? What did you say you needed a phone for?
Ongoing transactions at the bank, shares, stocks, executions, mergers. I list every word I know. I was talking
Go
to
ahead
the
and make
twins
a
over there. They've
persuasion
got
roll.
a great
I'll
idea
give you-
about something they're calling a cryptocurrency.
Mention the IRS. They're definitely still nervous.
Go
This
ahead and make a
stream is
persuasion
not
roll for me.
financial advice.
Yes.
This stream is not financial advice.
This stream is
Ne-
not financial advice.
Funnily enough, next
not
week's
financial
stream
advice.
is financial advice,
Financial
though. So
idiots.
tune
That
in,
one.
because we're going to be hosting a whole seminar. And bring your checkbooks.
Oh God. No way I can argue charm here.
Sure. Go ahead and knock a job.
Excellent. Here.
Alternatively, you can do accounting, like anything related to your job, or some kind of interpersonal role that isn't lying or intimidating.
If I had to do something
I guess
related to
lying
my
technically.
job, we'd have no chance.
Yeah.
You said
Remember,
you had
he is
above
not
base
good
in
at his
accounting,
job.
right?
Do you
Dave?
not?
I have 35 in
Oh,
accounting.
I have
Yeah, it's
I
very
have
funny.
25, so let's not get carried
Oh, okay,
away.
all right. Well,
I'm a small business owner, though. I'm a
I
barber.
don't know what else. Okay.
Well-
I'm just confirming one detail. Yeah. Okay, we're going for charm. Here we go. Can I burn
Huh.
all my freaking luck for this?
A small 43.
My job is not to let you survive,
Excellent. I
not to make sure
burn
you survive.
43
You can
luck.
survive if you want to. My job is not to facilitate that. That's a youth problem.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
burn all of my luck, except for actually, I have quite a bit of luck. I burn 43 points of luck. I succeed.
Okay. He's going to acquiesce. Essentially, what is going to happen is he is going to take you to a phone,
Yep,
and he's going to be there.
that's
You're welcome
fine.
to make a call. He will be there.
Paranoid.
That's completely okay.
No, he's just you are technically you're not part of whatever this is yet. So in order for like you get the feeling that it's more like you're being escorted to make sure that you don't leave. Not so
Yeah.
much that they don't necessarily trust that you're making a phone call.
no, 100%.
As Freddie Jensen said, I think we go.
I very visibly don't call the police or anything. I think I'm not actually sure how the
The
technology.
police
Well,
are here.
The police
Yeah,
are all
exactly,
in the
100%,
building,
right?
bro.
So I don't know how technology works with this exactly. I call my house and I taking wild liberties
Call the
might assume I have some
operator.
kind of 1920s capable answering machine.
I'm going to say, so in 1920s, you had operators. So
Yeah.
you get someone
through an
on
operator.
the end of the line going, operator,
hello.
how can I help?
I'm trying to get in contact with somebody to execute, I go through the sort of mention. Basically, I call a couple of places trying to get a message to Fred.
Okay.
Fredo Frog. Hopping
Do
from
you
here to
at all
there.
mention that it is Fred you're trying to get in contact with?
I probably
You knew that I am a client with the bank.
Yeah, I probably keep it vague
Actually,
at first.
It
and
does make
then-
sense because you're about to lose your house. It's like this is the
Yeah,
most,
you
you
get
know,
the
this,
money
this
off me.
client is
Mhm.
This was the deal that you were in the middle of. You've been told to collect mortgages. This was your job.
My only worry is I heard them say oh, you're the
Mm.
ones who we're associated with. You've been looking into
Yeah.
things that you're not meant to, and I'm worried if I drop Fred's name, they're going to clam up. I see if I can get it done being vague and mentioning that I'm calling my own house to leave a message for somebody who's going to pick it up, and then if I hit a wall, I'll drop Fred's name, absolutely.
Yeah,
Okay.
and you can do that right at the last minute after the rest of the information has gone to the operator, who still exists outside of this home.
I will say it's going to be hard to do anything without saying who it is you're trying to get in contact with.
Yeah, I'm happy to then. In that case, if
Great.
it's
So
yeah.
Great. So you do that. The operator goes, "Not a problem, sir. We'll make sure that message gets through. You have a
Yeah.
nice day now."
Excellent.
like-
And I probably
Because you haven't asked to connect to someone, so they're essentially going to take a message and pass it on your behalf.
Yeah, and probably that I leave a thing saying I probably do try and get through. Eloise's mum is the only other person I was thinking that could potentially work or something.
You are limited probably in this situation to one phone call without arousing a shitload of suspicion.
Okay, I
Prison.
best effort it then, and I will the message is something like I've taken a business appointment out of
Give me your address.
town, and I give my best indistinct description of where we are, and from there.
Fred, you're making your way through the town, and you're sort of
Quick as a whip.
driving. You're kind of cruising, trying to see if you can spot things that are happening.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, I saw the vehicle they left in. It was a big, like, open-top cage thing. It was like a sheep cage filled with people. So I'm thinking I'll recognize that when I see it.
well, you don't see that in town. That's the thing. So you're wondering, you're like, we'll say for the sake of this, if you don't mind me doing a little narration of what you're doing.
Fire at will.
You're kind of cruising around, occasionally sticking your head out, looking around. At one point, you like get out of the car to maybe like go to have a chat to a couple of people, being like, "Did you see this?"
Yeah.
And from above you, you hear, "Hey there, Frost."
Hello?
No, not Frost. Which one are you?
Fred Shank.
Shank.
Of
You
Shank's
look up and
Barbers.
you, oh my god, what's this guy's name again? It fell out of my head.
Peter.
Old man, someone or other. 1 second while I find the note that I have on this one. There's so many tabs.
Scrambly
Old man is
Dan.
fine. Scrambly Dan is better. Scrambly Dan is better than whatever your notes say. I'm really sorry.
That's true. I have fully lost it because it's open but behind
Scrambly
everything.
Dan.
You are speaking to
That's
Old
Mr.
Man
Scram.
Peterson.
Oh, I was close with Peter.
Peterson, who you definitely like. At least one of you had an interaction with last session, possibly all of you. But you see
Dan
him
Peterson,
and he looks
of
down
course.
and he sort of yells down and goes, "Shank,
Shank,
Wesley's
yes.
looking for you.
Who's looking for me?
Wesley,
Oh,
Frost,
yes,
you
I'm
know,
looking for him.
the bad twit,
I'm looking for him. Where is he?
Professor's house. Have fun."
Who?
Like gives you directions and you would know this
Thank
house.
you so much. Have a lovely day. Where is he?
There
Is he?
you
Is
do.
he? Is he up a
Wavy.
tree?
It's evening.
Yeah, he was up a telephone pole, I think.
Was it
Yeah,
the
he's up a
telephone pole?
again. Yeah,
Okay.
he's up a telephone pole. He's got like
Just
something
what he
latched
does.
onto the wires.
He was listening.
Oh
to the
shit,
phone
he just
line.
listens into everyone's calls. That's what he's doing. He's just
All
listening
right,
into
well,
every single call.
But
You
also,
have
he just likes
fun.
climbing stuff. Like this old man, he was Old Man Peterson now.
Yeah.
Before he was Old Man Peterson,
Yeah.
by his first name Dan, he likes scrambling up things all the
Yeah,
time. So he's
Scrambly
climbing.
Dan.
So
It's
Scrambly
just
Dan.
it's just how Mrs. Baker, took her husband's name and then became a baker.
the
So-
odds?
All right.
But yeah, this was a man you saw up a telephone pole, and he is absolutely up a telephone pole again, quite
I love
happily,
him.
just like chilling up there.
MVP
He's
of
an
the scenario.
85-year-old man, to be clear.
I aspire
Old
to
man
be
is
him.
old man.
Now,
He
is,
seems very chipper, very
is
pleased.
that kind of behavior happened before all the other
No.
weird stuff?
Absolutely
Fantastic.
not. He
Okay,
was
so
an
he's not
average
good.
old man.
I'm really
Okay,
glad to hear
well,
that.
he's having a good time. That's you know what? Good for him.
More power to him.
I hop back in the car and I head for the professor's
Actually,
house.
he will say, if you, as an extra, he goes, actually, I'll come with you. And he's going to
Okay.
climb down and get in the car.
Love it.
Can I just leave before he gets down that telephone pole?
I want to go with you.
I don't really think I.
Yeah,
He seems
absolutely.
fun.
I hear him say that, and then he just starts going, I pretend I don't hear him and drive off.
Sure.
Dave, I
Hey,
would
you
love
have
for
a
you to
look in
take
the
him with
rear view
you.
mirror, like, because
Yeah.
you've driven off. You have a look. So he gets down, looks around, and then just kind of shrugs and starts walking.
Aw, he seemed nice. And yet,
Dave, can we pick up the hitchhiker?
do you want me to go back and get Scrambly
Dave,
Dan?
pick up-
Dave, I would
pick
like
up
you to
the
bring with me
hitchhiker.
because I need to know his
Life
stats,
story?
his
Okay.
skill sheet. So
Alright.
if you bring him with you,
Okay.
We're gonna find
Annabelle will die or go insane very quickly, and
And
I'll
you
pick
can
him
play
up
Scrambly
because
Dan.
I need to know this guy's story.
Okay. I look in the rearview mirror and see this old man, and I go, I feel terrible. And Fred
Because I will
Shank's,
say,
Fred
when
Shank's a
he's
nice
on-
guy. I like to help you.
As soon as he
I
gets
roll
on the
my
ground,
eyes,
he looks like an old man.
Yeah,
He's
I roll my
he
eyes.
starts
put it in reverse,
Oh.
and run him the fuck. No, I go back and I get him.
amazing. He gets in and goes, "That's mighty kind of you.
Don't even.
Let's go. I'll
Don't
look at you."
worry
When
about
he
it.
tries to get in, you go forward.
Sorry, yeah. Almost got.
So we will
as we're
say
going-
for the sake of expediency.
Expediency be damned. Very
Oh, yeah.
briefly, can
you have
I?
a session to get. All right. Well,
can
I'm
I
probably
make-
going to 12:30 then, folks.
Can I just quickly? I just want to make a quick charm roll. Can I just get up to speed on what the others know? Like about the mention the blessed,
Oh.
mention the bullshit. Can I just get that from him, or does he not know it?
Sure.
Okay, I just want to get that, and then we can, and then I'll.
Do you want to make a charm roll for me?
Oh, sure. Yeah. Shouldn't have closed my sheet. Yeah. What's this fail? Yeah.
Oh, it's 3 points of luck, Dave.
Yeah, guess how
Come
much
on.
luck I have. 6. Now I'm down to 3. I spent 3 points of luck.
Great. Absolutely. Everything they know, you know.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Brilliant.
He
I
knows
head
know-
everything.
with that.
Including his stat sheet.
Also, and when I
You
arrive, I'll be a
are-
bit more cautious. I'll park a ways away. I'm gonna try and lose Scrambly and head up. Actually, I'll keep Scrambly. That's fine. I'll just park
Scrambly
it
could be a
all the
great help.
He's like he's
Scrambly's Jackson's
very
backup character.
friendly. Like he talks. He seems to be really excited to have discovered or like rediscovered an old love of climbing that he used to have as a younger man. He tells you a little bit about the fact that like Miss Brady was really like kind, because obviously there aren't too many things to climb, or like once you've climbed up, well, you're done, you're gonna climb down again and what have you. So she made him a little like kit that allows him to sort of listen in to the goings on of the town while he's sort of
he
like
is
chilling
listening
up
into
there.
phone calls.
Yes.
Creepy.
I'm taking
Doesn't
notes.
like you don't specifically get like he's listening into phone calls, but he's like, oh yeah, I the buzzing of the telephone lines. You can put two and two together, but he seems very genial. And he does direct you to like go and park a little bit closer to the house, and then says, don't worry at all. We'll make sure you get in, no problem.
Okay.
I don't know where his accent's going. I don't remember what the original one was
That's
for
fine.
this man, so it's
He's a
just
nice guy.
old man.
He's an enigma wrapped in a mystery and a player character waiting to happen. I'm writing things down, like gets his power from climbing, like has a climbing kit. Got him a tragic backstory.
Hang on, I don't know how. Okay, no, so okay, about that long.
Yep.
His
That's
climbs. He's climbed like you see him when he comes down. His climb like he's good. He's fine. He's using like handholds on this telephone pole, like fingertips kind of thing. Like these are not incredibly. He's not climbing up like a incredibly smooth steel pole, but he is. It's impressive that he can climb these, and even more so at the age of 85. He's very good at climbing.
He seems a good egg.
So you are brought inside. Old man Peterson, like sort of lets everyone kind of know that you're here. And for the most part, doesn't seem to cause any kind of consternation. If anything, a little wise after you arrive, the professor comes back out and goes, well, now everyone's here. I think we can get started.
One
Wesley
thing
looks up,
before- just-
thinking
yeah,
I'm
one
gonna
thing
rescue.
before
And
all
I
of
just
that.
walk in and sit down with everyone else. Like, I got your
Amazing.
message.
Okay, I'm sorry.
But before all of that happens, like when everybody's milling about, possibly just before the professor comes in, or if there's people milling about, people not really paying attention to any individuals, I would like to neck my champagne and drop the glass into my pocket and crush it.
Absolutely.
Mm.
It is noted that you have a makeshift ship.
I have several bits of broken glass in my pocket.
Hell yeah.
I'm hearing that Annabelle's still with the livestock. Was that right?
No, you were brought inside with the others as well. You were
Fantastic.
in. You are all hearing the like hubbub.
Okay.
All of you now are able to get a very clear understanding that the two twins are absolutely fascinated by anatomy and biology. It is notable that their father is absent. And that their mother is here.
One very last question: is there a notable difference in the room between like the invited
haves and the
guests
have-nots.
and the livestock that came in the cage?
So as I mentioned,
Being
pretty much
tips.
everyone who is not the people talking effusively about some area of interest appears to be in some way, shape, or form in service to
Like, and the way that we're being treated as well as the newcomers.
But we're not being kept separately.
No,
Okay.
you are
That's what I was
not being
getting
kept
at.
separately from the effusive people, and the people who are like serving are coming in and out, but they are serving people, and if you interact with them, you get a very similar interaction to the one that Eloise had, which is that they acknowledge they're a little out of it, a little hesitant, but they bring you what you ask for if you ask for anything. If you try and engage any of them in conversation outside of that, they pretty quickly shut down. Don't seem to want or like have any interest in saying anything outside of that, and will
Gotcha.
excuse themselves very quickly if it is clear that you are not requesting something specifically.
Yeah. All right. I may be on the same page now, but I reserve the right not to be.
Very fair. So at this moment, you see the professor comes out, says, well, now that everyone's here and the clouds have parted, we can go ahead. Pushes the doors open, and you see inside the room behind him is a beautifully elaborate brass and like kind of copper telescope. It's enormous. It points upwards into the sky, which as you look, the clouds, there was a little bit of like clouding. They have parted, and the sky is beautifully clear above where this telescope is pointed. Everyone in the room in this moment looks towards the four of you with expectation. And you are, for want of you are like in that expression and in that moment of like every single person in this room is focused on the four of you. There is an unspoken invitation to step forward.
This is probably what they wanted us to see.
I mean, is there a threat of violence if we don't? Like an implied threat of like
clearly,
it's this
the
or...
deputy
It's the
would just shoot people.
Implication. Oh yeah, and I don't love the guns.
I will say, like, there isn't... No one has pulled weapons. No one looks like they are going for any kind of, like, weaponry. You're not being forced towards it. But there is... Like, it's the force of, a dozen very, like, enthusiastic people staring at you. And there is absolutely a wall, like that feeling that you get when you're being stared at, where you're like, oh, there is a wall of something here. It doesn't need to be visible.
I'm wringing my hands and standing. I'm going to ask the professor for some more information, though. I'm going to say, what exactly is this, Professor? What are we looking at?
It's a telescope, my boy.
What are we going to see through it?
That is not something I can explain. Just going to have to see it for yourself.
Well, it's a shame
but it is marvelous.
I think I'd rather, it's just, I'm only here about a bank loan, and I think I've gotten caught up in something rather grander than I intended. If it's all the same, I'll let that linger, and then I think if there's then that implied threat, I'd love to have a look.
As you say, like, I'm here about a bank loan.
Yeah.
The Mr. Bingham, who is the man who was like is in charge of the bank, goes, "Oh, Shank, is it?
Yes.
One of the loans. Well, let's just say if you pass this little test, won't need to worry about it." And he winks at you.
All right. Okay. I take a step towards it. How fragile does the telescope look? Pretty hearty?
Boy.
Pretty meaty scope?
The metal of the the telescope itself, yeah, but the lens is glass.
I'm gonna say we kind of started this together. Wesley, Eloise, Annabelle, shall we?
Yep.
Yep. Okay.
I trust.
As we huddle and like approach.
Yep.
So you will all be allowed into the room together, but like it is a large enough room that pretty much everyone is going to like come behind you to some respect. And it is, if all of you approach, the professor will be like, no, one at a time. There's only space for one to look at a time, but you will all get your chance. Don't worry about that. You too, we hope, blessed.
Okay.
As we're kind of going through, it's a doorway into a different room, right?
It's a double door, so it's sort of like it's been open enough, like it is a separate room, but the doors are big enough that it sort of like extends this room into like another one. It's a pretty decent sized house.
Yeah, if
you can imagine
we get
like
a
flinging
chance
open
to
the double
huddle,
doors.
yeah, if there is a spot where we can huddle, like, but before they tell us, oh no, you can't huddle, I would like to give people some glass.
they
Well, we were
understand.
sat. Oh no, we hadn't seen it at that point. Never mind.
So you can all go into the room with a telescope. It's not like a foot of space and then the There's a bit of room in there. You are being not quite shepherded, but not quite not. As you go in, essentially the area behind you with which to retreat disappears as everyone kind of follows in. There is definitely an air of excitement and anticipation, maybe with something else bubbling under the surface. You're not too sure. But you are not being rushed outside of like the general tension.
Are there any other untested people that are going to be going and having a look through this, or is it just the four of us?
Not that you can see. And because it's interesting to say, not this evening.
Okay.
I'm still in the back of my mind, ever so slightly convinced, and based on everything I'm seeing, it's now potentially true. I am about to be promoted, the greatest promotion ever. But in all seriousness, I think that this is messed up and we've seen the edges of it. I might kind of look towards the others. I kind of go, I can go first. We'll see what it does. And then my eyes probably like dart to the most delicate part of the thing. From there, make a decision.
Sounds reasonable to me.
Also, because Wesley specifically, as you're like looking around, you see your nieces are like the children are at the front of this little thing because they want a good view of what's happening, and they're small. You see them sort of looking at each other and smirking, and like you get the very strong impression that they are talking about you, and not necessarily in a kind way, probably in quite a snide one. Behind everyone, you see the face of your sister, who definitely has the same demeanor as all of the other people here, who has been kind of fetching things for the twins. In that moment, she locks eyes with you, and there's a look of something there. But she locks eyes with you in that moment.
I hear what you're saying, Art. I refuse to believe it. Those twins love me. No, I'm okay. Unless anyone else wants to leave it open, if anyone else wants to step forward and do it. Otherwise,
you do what you're going to do. Annabelle has something else to try to do.
And if I had an opportunity for us all to be like huddling together, like, okay, this is it. You know,
I have sleight of hand.
I would have slipped
so
people some glass.
I have some sleight of hand, so we can do a little juggling and then try and get around the...
I would just love to slip people's.
Is anyone
something sharpie
looking through the telescope?
I believe Jim is.
I'm going to look through the telescope, and the one clarification I will make is I prepped it. I'm serious. I get close, and as my eyes approach, I do a little. I don't want to look. I'm going as cross-eyed as I possibly can.
Just close the eye. Just close the eye.
I know it probably doesn't do anything, but I want it noticed.
So you look through the telescope. You unfocus your eyes. And you look. As you do, you realize that the telescope is not pointed at any specific star. In fact, it's pointed very specifically at a space between stars. And as you look, fractals of pink, green, yellow, blue, and purple all begin to like twist like a kaleidoscope, or what are they? It is fractals, the chaos patterns just continue and continue and continue. And you feel yourself being pulled into this kaleidoscopic chaos. And as it does, you cannot, it does not matter whether your eyes are focused, this is connecting to your mind. It's showing you something immense, something awesome in the original sense of that word, and awful in the original sense of that word. Could you please go ahead, make a sanity check?
Hi, Jim. Very happy to. Here we go. That is a fumble.
Oh, buddy.
Now,
good number.
I'm gonna do something very mean, because this is the last session. I am going to double
Oh, hell yeah.
impact.
Hit me with it.
Yes.
So I would like you to immediately
Put 'em for
take
gills.
16 sanity damage.
Okay. Whoa. I'm definitely
connected.
insane, surprising nobody.
You are connected in this moment to a vast alien consciousness that shows you a glimpse of reality, not as you see it, but as it truly exists. And there is a glimmer of seeing what it is that you care about most, like interest-wise, connect to that great picture, that great tapestry. And in that moment, your mind breaks. And you become broken, like so many others before you.
I love it. I think
You
maybe if I
are-
can.
You are entirely stunned. There are two options for you here. You can either go mad, like frenzy, or you can go catatonic.
I think that first of all, I like the idea
Recommend
that.
catatonic.
Oh, pardon me.
I said, unless you want to frenzy, I will say you go catatonic.
I would have done frenzy purely for narrative interest, but I think at this point catatonic because the others have plans. I know that there's something. Also, Wesley
Actually,
feels
that's
like
not true.
that.
You can frenzy.
All
'cause
right.
You did have a plan, so it
I
is.
like-
You can frenzy or you can go catatonic. It's your choice. It will change the impact of everyone around you. That's all I'm gonna say. Is
That's
like
great.
situation
We love
will
that, though.
escalate differently dependent on you do.
Have a
What's
little
the- what's
freak
the-
out,
what's-
Jim. You've earned it.
Little freak out.
Yeah,
We'll
mate.
for a little
Go
freak
for
out.
it.
I'll
Been
say
such
quickly.
a good boy.
I like the idea that the reason it break the skill that like I'm into most or the thing that I like the best. Wesley doesn't have anything. I'm not good at anything. I never have been. There's nothing there, so he freaks out. Yeah, great.
I'm not there.
Let's have a little frenzy.
For narrative reasons, as this happens in this moment, as your body like twitches and like freezes up, and the veins on your neck start to like pulse a little, and you look in pain or confusion, your sister sees it, and her heart breaks.
Oh,
Because she knows exactly what it is that's happened.
she's not.
You
good at
also,
anything.
I will say at this point, like the realization of this is like a physical blow. And you reel away from the telescope, and all of you see that around the eye is like black. It's like he's been punched, like a solid punch to the eye that was attached to the telescope, and you reel away. You are fully like forced back from the immensity of what it is that you have seen and cannot comprehend. And you begin to flail and foam and yell, and in the confusion, because multiple people are going to rush to stop you and subdue
scramble.
you. What is it that the three of you want to do?
I'm gonna try and smash at a telescope.
Yep, coming with, going straight for the glass.
As soon
Hell
as
yeah.
I was
In my
Wesley
hand. I wanna
recoils
scratch the
back,
shit out of that glass.
I'm just gonna try
I don't
and
care. It's gonna. Yeah.
smack it.
Anima was going to use her oratory skills to rile up the crowd, as she has so many times before.
Just start yelling. Just start yelling.
Yeah, like
Down
the
with
untouched
telescopes.
folks.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Yeah, I love
I'm
What?
taking
The
the glass.
untouched folks?
There
are none, but the three of
We're
you.
the only ones?
We're the only ones.
We're the
that
only ones in the
look
sheep
through,
cart?
But there's broken
You now
people.
know that there are two types of people here.
Yeah.
They have referred to themselves as the blessed,
Yeah.
and Wesley in this moment has become broken. Everyone here is either blessed or broken. There is no one else here that is not but you. And you are pretty certain at this point that you understand, like, why people in the town are fine one day and maybe not the next.
Yeah. Yeah, this is because I wasn't put in the cage and I didn't get a chance to talk to them. I was like, okay, they're in the cage. Like, I can rile them up. I can let them break their chains. Oh, no. Oh, no.
It was too late. They were being
So in that
transported
case-
like cattle because they were already broken.
I'll stick with my friends. I think we go smash this telescope.
Down with telescopes. Down with
Great.
knowledge.
No more iPads.
I will say that there was a
Down with
distraction
Get the
occurring.
kids.
There were enough people in here that, like, you're only going to get one chance to do this. At least, like, one unimpeded chance, and after that, they're
Yep.
going to know what you're trying to do.
That's good. We only need
So whomever would like to, because there is confusion and, like, distraction at this point, and you were all prepared That was very clear from everything you were saying.
Godwick.
One of you may go ahead and attempt to smash, or like I guess technically all of you can, but it would be hard for more than one person to attempt it. And you will have a bonus from the confusion.
I would very much like to grab glass out of my pocket and just like start scratching the shit out of that lens.
Nice.
Does anyone? So, are there any electrical components that I could justify electrical repair?
Ooh.
This is a
repair?
mechanical device.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's me.
If you've got mechanical,
That's you.
then
Get in there, Anne.
You smashed the thing. I want to take it apart.
Oh,
Heck
if
I'm just
you
gonna try and
so
push it over.
scratching, you don't really need an intelligence check for this necessarily. Scratching the glass would have the same impact as someone unfocusing their eyes or like
And he's
trying not to look.
Okay, and Wesley's already
It would
done
be annoying,
Well then.
and they would have to
Okay.
like buff it out, but it wouldn't.
It would still
stop.
work. In that case, I'm gonna take the glass back out of my. I'm gonna look at the lenses, see the other two going for it, and take the glass out of my pocket and kind of just stand in front of them with glass in my hands, like.
Stab the professor in the neck.
Yeah,
Stab him in the
I'm
neck.
just
Stab
Alice.
Wesley
gonna-
in the neck.
I'm just gonna start stabbing.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Great.
get stabby with it.
No one is actively coming for the three of you. The focus is they are subduing Wesley, but that is
Yeah.
absolutely a-okay.
Fantastic.
So they are going to subdue Wesley. You turn around with glass in your hands and go,
Yep.
And Annabelle, could you
I'm
please
gonna-
make a mechanical repair roll for me with
Yeah.
bonus dice?
I'll be helping
Um,
whenever possible.
I'm looking for like the screw or the nut or the the
I will
bar
say, because this is like, you are...
that I just like
Let's see what you roll.
and take it apart.
God, he's good.
Ah,
God, he's good.
Oh. A
Well, that's
10
like
You
a
literally
solid
can't do
100.
success with my regular
Well
roll
done.
and a
So,
critical
100.
fumble with the extra roll.
Well done.
you are looking at this thing and you're like, okay, this glass is being held with tension. Like there are screws that are like holding the glass in place because you don't want to, like there's a rubber stop around it. There's no way to sort of like affix this thing with glue or anything, because if you need to replace it, it's a problem. So it is being held on with tension. And you look at it and you're like, if I twist this in this way and this in this way, I know that the pressure will act in this way and the glass will entirely shatter, like it'll break into multiple pieces. You go up and you go 1, 2, and it shatters. And in that moment, everything stops. In almost slow motion, you watch the professor look towards you with a look
I'm ready.
of like terror or confusion that becomes terror,
Good.
that becomes fury
Uh-oh.
in seconds. And you watch as his eyes start to like bulge a little and his face starts to go red and the veins start to stick out. And almost like sort of viscerally, you can feel in your chest as he says, "What have you done?" Every single one of the broken drop. Unconscious. Maybe dead.
Ah.
Who knows?
Ooh.
They are
Okay.
comatose. Every single blessed frenzies.
Oh, okay.
They will turn to
Right.
whatever
I
is
believe-
nearest, and they are going to try to destroy it.
Yes. Okay.
You watch
Protect my
that
friends.
same red-faced, furious. They do not get bigger, but somehow they do. And they grab whatever is to hand. And they go for all of you.
Are they kind
I'd
of
like
turning on
to-
themselves, or is it focus? Like they know
No,
what they know what's up.
They will, so in the moment, all of their anger and fury is directed outwards away from each other. They do not go for each other. They do go for the comatose broken.
Okay.
Like one
mean,
of
that
them
sucks,
immediately turns around and just like slits the throat of someone and just starts to like scream. It is, you are watching a bunch of people in the moment of realization of what they were connected to and what they have lost.
Mm.
And the horror of what happened. They, in that moment, in that grief, all of their anger, all of their disgust, all of their horror is turned outwards, and the only thing they want to do is destroy everything that is not them, because the world has taken something away from them that they will never get back. Now, this is not something you would realize yourselves. This is just for narrative purposes, but these people are That's the level of frenzy. They are, we will destroy everything because we couldn't have what was good for us.
Wow.
So it's probably not talking these people down. And yeah, like the ones that are outside, like they absolutely go for, you watch your twin nieces, Wesley.
I was about to say,
Like-
can I personally request, because I would have fallen unconscious, I presume, with the rest of the broken. Can I personally request to be killed by my nieces jumping on me with forks or blunt instruments and
Oh,
stuff and stabbing me to death?
they are going to, like little wild cats screeching in fury are going to lunge. They probably at this would lunge towards Annabelle before they lunge towards you, but someone's nearby. Go
long as
ahead
I
and
get
make me a
wild-catted at
constitution
some
roll real
stage, I'm
quick,
fine.
Wesley.
Pardon me?
Go ahead and make a constitution roll.
Oh, for sure. Sorry, delay, done. Success, I'm
Great.
surprised.
So you are, because you were unconscious at the moment that this like happened, you will come to, because you in that moment it was a weird crossway, like you weren't
Sure.
conscious to have the link screwed over with. It's just not there anymore for you.
Yep.
You do
Oh,
not regain any
fantastic.
of your sanity, but you are like you start to come to, and you can hear the sounds of a fracas
rumble in
around
the
you,
jungle.
and will be able to at least like react to things. You are not going to be
I will lie on the ground and basically when I'm in a if things happen that I'll be given a chance to escape, I'll take it. But for now, I think it's I'm reeling, I'm reacting.
right.
What's happening?
Sorry, my internet just froze real quick, so I was like, oh no, it's me. So we're good. We're back. I got that. Not a problem. What are the rest of the three of you doing as everything devolves into chaos?
I'm really sorry. I think I got to go out of here.
I actually
I'd like to
just figured I need to pay
appointment.
back my loan.
I gotta leave.
So
I
I
think it's
need
time to
to
go.
leave. This is awkward.
I think we gotta go.
I
think we can go.
exit via the window the telescope was looking out. Because I want to scramble
that's so
up the
cool.
telescope and out the
Not
skylight.
a telescope, it's a roof, but certainly. So you're
Whatever.
gonna
Get
try and
me
scramble
out of
up
there.
the telescope. Amazing.
Because I'm assuming they're between us and the door, and
Yeah.
they're psychos.
Oh, they have definitely like they're
the
going for
telescope,
whatever's
up and
nearest.
out.
So like if they can't get to someone, like all of the ones that couldn't get through the door, like they were watching, they've just turned around to start attacking whatever's nearby.
Everyone
Yeah,
They're
channels
going to pull
scrambly
like
down.
antique swords
and
off the
get
walls.
out.
They're gonna go pick up like
I'm not going
heavy
through
pitches.
that. Yeah, I'm not going through it. Nah. Yeah, up and out.
Okay.
Up and out. This is ill-advised, but up and out.
Annabelle?
Let's scramble.
Yeah, I guess if that's the clearest way out, there's fewest people between me and that way. I'll go that way. Yeah.
You do have Wesley, who is on the ground, and Wesley's sister, who is comatose.
Sucks for them.
I'm gonna grab. I guess point at Wesley. I can grab the sister. She's comatose though, so actually no, I can't. But Wesley will probably
being
follow
attacked
if
by
I
the
can just like
bait,
tug.
Sister,
certainly help
put on
them
your
up.
own life jacket before.
Oh, is Wesley being actively attacked?
You all are. You are all
No, but
within,
like, Like, if I grab him, am I being grabbed by somebody who is on top of him? Is he
You are
currently
all-
taking damage?
So I want to be clear that no matter what you do, you are in grab range and in attack range from are blessed at minimum. So there
Okay.
will not be an opportunity to just bounce. You are in combat at this point. In fact,
Okay.
let's do dexterity order.
Yeah,
Alright.
because I'm
Dexterity
gonna.
order for you
I
guys.
would like to get Wesley. I think we should get Wesley.
I'm less, no offense to Wesley, motivated by that.
I
I'm
am
saying.
pretty happy.
Actually,
to be,
if anything,
to be,
he's the man who I owe the loan to. So if he just...
So we've got Fred and
birds,
Eloise.
one stone.
Thank you. Who we're waiting on Annabelle and Wesley,
I
please,
don't-
for initiatives.
I don't even know.
You just let me know
Fight.
what it is. That'll do.
It's under combat. Or you can just, it's dexterity.
75. I just
Oh,
couldn't
dog,
see
look
it.
at you go.
Bro.
There it is.
Okay. So unless anyone else, so Annabelle is going to go first.
Yeah. Okay.
Unless
Great.
Wesley, you have a higher dexterity.
Here we go. No, absolutely not. I have a 45 dexterity, which is which is not good.
Great. Okay, 45. So you're gonna go. So it'll be great. Annabelle, you're up first.
Fantastic. Wesley, I'm sorry. I will tell your story. I'd
Thank
like
you.
to dodge and just extricate myself from the situation.
Go ahead and make a dodge roll for me.
Ooh, here we go.
Dog.
Oh, that's not as good as the
Yeah,
first last dodge roll, yeah.
All I need is 21 points of luck, which I got.
Great. So you've done 21 points of luck. You are not going to be injured in this. Now I would like you to make a luck roll.
Ooh.
Now, that's cruel,
Yes, that's Call of
but I
Cthulhu.
will.
Woofed.
Okay. So
That's no
while
humble.
while you are
close.
able to get around the person that's in front of you, you are in a fray. Another person stands in your way. You are not able to achieve your objective. Next up.
I think that's me, is it?
You got this,
Alternatively,
Eloise.
you can
Yes,
like what were you going for? You were
That's
going
me,
for a up
actually.
and out the telescope.
Yeah.
Yeah. If that was the clearest way, getting out of here.
Okay. Then I'll give
yeah,
you
Seems like there's less people that way.
50.
in that. No, we'll do one round and then we'll see how we go.
That's fine.
Hang on. Sorry, let me check. I think real quick.
Back to me.
Whomever is next in the line, let me know what you're planning on
It's your
doing
boy.
so we can keep this
I'm
moving.
boogie the hell out of here.
Cool. Which way are you going?
Telescope.
Great.
Oop and out. Oop and oop.
So go ahead, and you are not attacking anyone, so go ahead and make a dodge roll.
Backflip. Well.
Great.
Ah.
You are. I will. You know what? I will roll. So for Annabelle. So you succeeded the dodge, so that's not going to be a problem. And
Oh,
Oh
definitely.
no.
So 3
I yell.
damage.
I was
to
kidding. I'd like to have a look
Wesley.
in the telescope. We can fix it.
You take 3 points of damage in the fray. Now, Annabelle, I'll offer you this. I will give you the opportunity to get out. You will take damage from it because you failed your luck roll.
Oh yeah, I'll take it.
So you will take 2 points of damage. You may now make a climb roll to see if you can get up the telescope.
That is incredibly generous of you.
Oh,
Oh.
nice.
Oh,
Okay.
there
You are
there she goes.
Out of the house,
Scrambly Dan, little tear coming down his eye.
what you see
You would have been up those
or
telescopes.
what you hear is this ain't just happening here. These aren't the only blessed in town.
Hmm.
These aren't the only broken either.
heck.
So, where are you going?
Flip and dip.
Mom,
Actually, we'll come back to you. Think about where
Yeah,
you're going.
you're on the roof.
I'm going to mom.
Next person up should be Fred. I believe. Oh no, sorry.
Nah,
yes,
it's
Fred.
Eloise.
No, Wesley. Eloise. God damn
Eloise
it.
then.
It's me.
Eloise.
I have seen Annabelle successfully climb the telescope, and that is the way. That is where I am at, and also, I have not a lot of climb. I would like to dodge and then climb. It's gonna go badly for me
Okay, go.
in
Go ahead
one
and
way or
dodge.
another.
Right here having fun. Oh, she's good.
She dodges.
Nice.
She does dodge.
Again,
so
I'm
good.
going to take.
Stop, drop, and roll, baby.
So that's fine. This will go ahead and make a luck roll.
Oh, sorry. I thought that was your
No. Oh, come on.
Oh,
Same choice. You can take 3 points of damage and have a climb roll, or
Gimme.
you can avoid damage
Gimme.
and you'll just be stuck in.
Gimme.
Great. 3 points of damage.
Damage.
Make a climb roll.
I want out. I want out. This sucks. This sucks. I suck at climbing. I do suck at climbing. How much luck do I have?
You have got enough, I think.
I've got enough. I've got enough. I'm good. I'm good. I've been hoarding my luck.
Up,
I'm
up,
lucking
and
my
away.
way out of this fucking building.
Great. Go for it.
Up we go. I'm locked out.
Okay. You luck your way up and out. You have the same realization that Annabelle does as you get out. This is not just
Mhm.
happening here. This is a town full of madness. Wesley.
I lost a heroic amount of sanity beyond just the sort of falling unconscious and
Yeah.
stuff.
Mhm.
I think that it's probably narratively appropriate for me to, as my final moments, like I crawl over to my sister who's fallen unconscious, and like I look up towards the kids and I go help, and they descend upon me, and I die a horrible
Hell
yucky
yeah.
yucky death. Does that track? Does that fit?
Absolutely. If you
Excellent.
feel no desire to defend yourself, that's fair enough. If you want to try and get your sister and get out, that is an option as well.
I think he tries, but he just
Why don't you
You
give
lost
me
a
a strength?
huge amount of sanity.
Go ahead and give me a strength check.
he heroically. Oh, okay. I drag her to the bottom of the telescope.
Go ahead and give me a luck check.
I try to get away from the kids. Okay.
You're just Boromiring
No.
this.
You are essentially barging your way through. You grab your sister and you pull her out the front door. Luckily for you, Jensen gang, all broken, all unconscious.
Oh my god. All right, well, I'm just straight to the car.
So
I guess.
you are for this one we'll say like
Hey.
your madness is flee. Your madness is flee.
Yeah.
So you managed to get
Makes sense.
out with no damage. Well done.
I feel like that's not madness. That's just common sense. But yes.
Top of the round is Annabelle. What's your next objective?
Mum.
Your mother.
Okay, you're trying to get to your mum's house. Are you looking to like hunker down?
Just
Get
make sure
out.
she's okay. Just make sure she's
Great.
not being ripped apart right now.
So for this one, I
that's gonna
am
be
either going to
hard.
get you to make a like, give me some kind of navigate. You can make a dodge again. You can make a straight like dexterity, something to get you through the cacophony and
Yeah.
the brawl that is what this town has become. As you know, things are starting to be like set on fire and cars.
yikes.
Like if this was a modern scenario, car alarms would be going off and stuff like that. Like this has
Yeah.
gone full apocalypse mode.
I see what you're getting. I can see stealth to stay hidden, or constitution just keep going, or dodge to like get out of the way if I am spotted.
Whatever you like,
Dodge is my highest skill, so let's go with that.
go for it.
No.
Okay, you duck
But
and you
I
wave.
have 28 points of luck.
Okay.
If that'll get me to, if that'll get me home in one piece, that any further problems? 28 points of luck.
You're still gonna have to make a luck roll. There's blessed everywhere, and they
Oh.
are coming for you. They are coming for everyone. So
Oh.
this is the penalty: is if you're not lucky, someone comes along and takes a swipe at you.
Oh.
So go ahead and make a luck roll.
Okay, I'll do that first. Not lucky.
So did you spend your luck to make your dodge a success?
Oh, if I could have done that, yeah, I would have done that.
Yes. Well, then you will need to roll your luck with the reduced luck.
Okay, I mean, it was already a failure.
Doesn't matter. It's a fail no matter what. So you're going to take 2
Yeah.
points of damage, but you do
Fine.
manage to get through to your mother.
Fantastic.
The house appears to be in one piece at the moment, and you find her like in the living area or like in a study, probably in your study, like under the desk. Next up is Fred. You got out.
I was indefinitely insane. Seeing all this will undoubtedly trigger some tickle, so I suspect I'm also in a bout. I saw Wesley use brute force rather than trying to do anything fancy. I follow the
Did
path he's
I
gone, but-
skip you, or did you just?
No, I've
not
gone. I
get
dipped
out?
it.
Okay, cool.
I saw Wesley not do anything fancy, just go brute strength. I'm gonna try the same. I follow in his wake and try and book
Great.
it.
Go ahead and make a strength check for me.
Hey. Yeah, fail.
Failed.
No,
No,
success.
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 Great. Go ahead and make a luck roll.
Watch this. So close.
Amazing. You are going. I know they are failing. I'm just doing it to get the damage. So you're going to take 3 points of damage. But you do manage to get out the front door. And you can see Wesley with his sister. So you and Wesley are together, and Annabelle and Eloise were together.
Yeah.
In terms of like where you're going. So we're doing this in dexterity order to help me keep track of who's gone and who hasn't. But
with
in
you.
terms of this, we're just kind of like moving through objectives.
Mhm.
So Fred, you are now out the front, currently with Wesley. Eloise, are you heading in the direction of where Annabelle went, or are you going your own way?
I want to go to the school. I don't know how many kids are now left, without parents, with the broken, with the crazy people,
It
and with
is-
I want to, yeah.
Yeah, it is nighttime, so kids
That's
would
okay.
not be at school. at
The
the
school
moment,
is
but yeah,
like
for sure.
an emergency. Like I'd imagine the school or
Mhm.
the town hall would be like an emergency area, and I think kids would go towards the school if
Great.
they're yeah.
Go ahead
I'm thinking in my head like I would like to go to where the kids would know to go.
dodge or navigate. Dodge for just like getting through, or if
Stealth?
you're going speed,
I know where I'm going. Can I go stealth and just try if it's nighttime and just hide from people? Because I don't.
Sure, if you want to do it
Yeah.
at a pace, which is if you're trying to get somewhere.
I would like to be
Um,
quiet rather than fast.
Sure. Go ahead and give me a stealth roll.
Oh.
So you are not going to be able to be stealthy.
I get spotted. I have to find my way out now.
Essentially, you are going to take 1 point of damage,
Okie dokie.
but you have not got any closer to your objective.
No.
So just for record, everyone's gotten out, and Annabelle has gotten somewhere else. Wesley.
I plan to get in to one of the many cars that were parked out the front. To
Wait for your
fire
remote.
it out of this goddamn town and leave with Fred, new best friend.
Hey!
And then eventually, once it's somewhere safe, to ultimately, I don't know if people remember, use the one extreme success on accounting that I've had in my entire life to embezzle the
all
shit
your
out of my
money,
bank to set myself up a new life away from all of this disaster.
First and foremost, drive auto.
Oh my god,
drive
yes.
auto?
Yeah, there's cars
for
around.
driving out or for getting the car going?
You're driving out.
We're driving. Okay, drive auto coming up.
Wait for me,
You're
dog.
dodging people who are trying to.
I'll wait.
hold the car.
Get in.
I am
start the
gonna
car.
everything. It's so if we will have a roll that if you succeed,
Okay.
you will be in the
That's
car.
fine. Just flagging.
This is like, actually, yeah. In this case, let's do a drive order to like, or actually, you can delay until Fred has his turn.
Or he can just go, and if I
Yes.
don't make it in, you leave without me. That's fine.
I'd wait for Fred. That's totally fine.
You are actually. I'm a keeper
Get
this.
together.
Red
You're
and
insane.
Frost.
You get in the car and you're going. So
Alright.
go ahead and make your drive auto roll.
Here we go.
And you're gonna have to do like a quick.
That is a
Oh, damn.
failure.
Damn, dude.
Can you lock it?
I
Crash the car.
can luck it, but I'm vaguely inclined to wait around and try it again next time once you're in the car.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
2 points of damage. Again, this is not whether they. This is just you are taking incidental damage if you fail, or if you
Sure.
want to succeed but you failed your luck. The only way you don't take damage is if you succeed both.
That's cool. I'll hold it for now because I'll wait.
So-
As a player, I want to wait for Fred.
You are like jumping into the car. As you do so, one of the blessed runs out at you, and you manage to like slam their head in the door, but not
Oh.
before they get like an like piece of broken glass
Yep.
across you. Likewise, in the brawl, you were all dodging and weaving, and essentially it was all like someone got like one of the antique swords and managed to get it like across your thigh. Annabelle, when you're like making your way through the town, you have to like get over some fallen debris and manage to like gouge a section of yourself, like your side out as you like pull yourself over. These are all little incidental moments of damage taken as you continue to try and do this.
It's a bad time.
I think it's going
Annabelle,
well.
you are at your mum's. What is your ultimate outcome for getting out of this situation?
You know, credit rating 10. We don't have a car. I don't want to get in a car.
You're up.
Um,
You can hunker down and try and just like hope to hide this out.
That's
You
probably-
can try and get out of dodge.
No, that's probably the better odds. Is yeah, I think we got to stay put, stay
case.
quiet, barricade the room, barricade the house.
Write a strongly worded letter.
Yeah.
Please make for
Local
me
congressman.
a mechanical repair roll to barricade your house.
What happens when
You
we
have
don't
that?
vote?
Yes,
Oh, she's good.
Nice.
it's good.
Luck
'cause I
roll.
had 3 points.
MVP of the apocalypse.
Luck.
Who's
What?
people are trying to kill you while you're doing this. This is like the scene in Dawn of the Dead where it's like you're trying to barricade things and the zombie hands are coming through.
Wow.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
As you're trying to barricade this, it essentially exactly as they describe. It's like zombie-esque. They know that you're in there, and in the process of doing this, someone managed to like fire a weapon, and you get grazed by a bullet.
Hey,
Take 2 points of
Yeesh.
damage.
I'm still standing. At some point, when it's possible, I'd also like to toss that radio out.
Yeah,
The
toss it out.
house.
Toss it back at the person who shot you. Just
Ow!
Either before the crowd arrives,
take
but
this.
yeah, good to get
Fred?
it out.
I enter
trying
the
to get in the
car
car?
with flair, pizzazz, if you will.
Right.
And I try to
For the
leave.
sake of this, I'm going to
Jump.
attach you to Wesley.
Sure.
So we will delay what happens to you as to Wesley getting away, and I'll give Wesley a bonus dice on his drive auto.
Love to hear it. Do I need to make a luck roll to see if I take damage?
No, I'll have you make that on Wesley's turn.
Very
For
cool.
this one, it'll be the two of you are now like together, so I'll put you essentially on the same initiative.
As I enter
for
the
that.
car, I have very little health, and it looks like I am barely clinging on. I am bleeding, broken.
This
Well,
is
not
gonna be
broken.
funny. This is gonna be
Lowercase
funny when
broken.
Wesley crashes the car.
Eloise, I will give you
Yes,
this. You didn't get any further,
No,
I
but
believe.
I
There
didn't.
is
I
a
stuffed
car
myself.
that is going.
Yeah, I would very much like to,
How about it?
because I didn't get any further from the house, did I? So I would.
Jump in.
No, I'm
the
still
man
willing
I
to
need
school, but I would like to grab another car if I can, because there were cars out the front, right?
I
People
drove
arrived in
one.
There
vehicles.
are.
So I'm going to
there
jump
are
in a
couple.
different car, and I still want to get to the school. I still, my thoughts are still with the school kids.
Drive auto.
Trying to help others. Crazy.
I can actually luck that, so I'm going to luck that.
Okay.
But then I know I have to make my luck roll, so
Go ahead and make your luck roll.
with my 9 points of luck now, let's see how this goes. Obviously a failure.
All right. You are going to take 1 point. So
Just
again,
a tickle.
as you go for one of the cars,
Mhm.
someone manages to catch you. You're not sure with what. It's like you get smacked over the back of the head with a candlestick or something like that. Like someone you blunt force trauma to the back of your head and neck. But you manage to get into a car, and you manage to drive away and into the town.
My ultimate goal will be to get the school bus and pick up any kids who are still okay and don't have parents anymore, and then hightail it out of town. So I'm going to basically go on school kid rescue mission.
Great.
It's going to be my. So if that ends up being another drive auto for my ultimate kind of thing, or
probably
whatever.
yes. Before we get there,
'cause
Fred
I know we've got
and Wesley.
Here we go.
For the sake, I don't think I'm giving you a bonus dice. As soon as bullets start whizzing, I hit the ground. I am in the back seat, cowering.
Very fair. I won't need it. I didn't.
God,
actually.
he's good.
Yay!
We're out of here.
Carry us home, Wes.
Can both of you give me luck checks?
Here we go. Failure.
Yeah, looks about right.
Okay.
Fail.
Are you happy to both take the same amount of damage?
Yep.
If I roll once?
We are
In it together.
roomies
Big
now.
number, no whammies. I did.
Sheriff is firing wildly.
Yeah.
You may reduce that by 1 because the car is technically armor.
I'm still
Oh,
up.
nice.
Because I'm feeling moderately generous. And it does seem unfair that if you're shooting into a vehicle, that doesn't give you some kind of, defense. So yes, you may reduce by 1 because car armor. But, and you get away. You are driving out.
Nice.
Oh, to hear it.
That's our zombie apocalypse ending. We fire off into the sunset.
And
I
immediately
will say
ran
for the
into a
sake
train.
of expediency, those in cars, you do have an advantage. You are able to get out of town and away. So it is only Annabelle who is in town at dawn.
I mean,
I don't like my
I'd still be
odds.
looking for kids. So resolve Annabelle first, but yeah, I'm still looking for children.
I'm essentially I'm
Yeah.
hand waving the end of that,
Okay.
going, you've got
Yep.
kids,
Yeah,
you can get
I get my
If
bus, I
you-
get my school bus,
that's
I'm out of
fine.
here.
Beep, beep.
Miss Frizzy in the future.
Yeah, you get as many kids as you can,
Yeah.
but at a certain point you are like, if I stay any
I
longer,
think
the
it's
kids
I
I've
think it's
got
before
are in
dawn.
danger.
I think I book it before dawn.
Annabelle.
Hmm.
The sun begins to come up. You have spent the night hearing screams of terror, hearing the gurgling sounds of people dying. Go ahead and make a sanity roll for me real quick.
That's fine. Yeah.
This has been pretty hecking awful. Take a D8.
It's been a long night. This may push me into indefinite. Bang on. Indefinite.
Oh,
Whatever psychosis or madness grips you, you cannot shake those sounds from your mind. They do not leave, they stay with you. But the sound that stays with you forever is the gentle sound of bodies exploding
oh.
as every single one of the blessed pops like popcorn in the sun.
Ugh.
What's left of them?
The
What
broken,
a great image.
Yum.
the broken who survive the night wake as though they had lived through a horrifying dream.
Good.
Those that were physically marred in some way will carry those wounds with them for life, but their minds are at least their own once more.
Fine.
You can get word out to the others and let them know what happened, but in essence, a solid probably third of the town popcorned their way into oblivion.
Oofed.
Another third was slaughtered. You're what's left.
Well,
that I think is the end
in that
of a
case,
town called Stony, and the scenario ends some fell on stony ground.
what I'm hearing is
Alrighty.
A little
gonna be-
longer?
what I'm hearing is it's going to be a much smaller pool for the next mayoral race.
Yeah.
And we'll have
Definitely.
the first female mayor in
Mayor.
Small Town USA.
I think
That's
the most
good.
important person to have rocked up for you, the dude,
Telephone pole man.
the guy who Kenneth McCurdy rocked up and like walked behind a pole and became someone completely different. He's a master of disguise. It's fine.
That's fine.
Just in case you're wondering.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah,
Someone
that.
just like
Never
shakes
knowing.
off.
Never
Yeah,
knew.
or you can
That's
just go
so
through.
funny.
No,
A
no.
master of disguise. What a hilarious. That's
He's just
so
wearing a
fun.
hat.
good.
That wasn't him at all. All right.
Fully just like walks behind and becomes someone else. Just like
What a good time.
Fantastic.
maybe you didn't
Art.
notice
Thank
that.
you, Art.
Thank you, Art.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Alex. Thank you,
Thank you
Jim.
for
Thank you, Dave.
keeping.
Thank you, Jackson. Thank you, chat, for coming along for this ride and hanging out a little longer. You can find all of our VODs on YouTube. We play every Friday, etc., etc. Have a wonderful
Fantastic.
rest of your
And I'll just say that
time zone.
we will be back next week. We are going to be running a solo scenario. We're going to be playing the recently released Alone Against the Static as we prepare for our next campaign, which is going to be Regency Cthulhu. We're all going back. We're going to be leaning on our reputation and making sure we don't make any faux pas, because they are just as deadly as any horror beyond the stars.
And now
So
it's
we
not
hope we'll
wrong
see you
if we
then.
do English accents.
Oh, thank Christ. It's the only ones I can do.
All right. We'll see you soon.